Hello, this is Security Boss. Listen guys, I'm coming to you with something new and very exciting. It's called I Choose You. Yes, it's a new dating show and we want all of you to get excited about it. Yes, it is a dating show. It's going to be a virtual dating show. We want all you bachelors and your bachelorettes to get excited about it. So stay tuned for I Choose You.
Driving around in California, looking for something to make me stay. Round and round forever, searching for something that could never get replaced. Don't need you to save me, but I just really need to be saved. I'm just so sick of waiting for any luck to come my way. Yeah.
Hello, hello, hello. I hope everyone is doing well. This is Unsolicited, and I am Security Boss. And I hope everyone is having an outstanding day on this Good Friday. Y'all, it's Good Friday, and it is an excellent Friday. It is the nicest day, I think, that I've experienced this year. The weather is outstanding, and y'all know, Easter Sunday. All right. So listen, let me say this to y'all. I got a lot of things to tell y'all, but we're going to get started on this show today. I'm saying tonight. It's automatic, guys. We're going to get started on this show today. But first, I want to say hello to a few people. And I'm so glad that y'all could be here. As you already see, it is 4 o'clock in the afternoon, Eastern time. SB Nation decided just to jump out there and see if this would be a good time to have the show. Because you know what I've been noticing? A lot of my favorites, members of SB Nation, they're busy. They're moderating for this people. They're moderating for this content creator. And I love the fact that they're working. They come over here and work for me too. I get it. And I appreciate it. But I want all of you to have an opportunity to watch the show. And I too would like to watch some of the other content creators. So we're just trying this. We're going to see if 4 o'clock in the afternoon is a good time to have a show. And by the way, I'm looking at it now, it's been good so far. So I want y'all to keep this up and let me know. We're going to talk about it and we're going to see. And I may try this for a couple of weeks to see if this is going to be a good time. Because listen, over here at SB Nation, we're willing to share and you know, have everybody take a little piece of the pie, because I want everybody to be wherever they need to be. But for now, Ace Senior, how are you? Black Man Unfiltered, how you doing today in the middle of the day? Sir Hale, I hope you're doing good. Maria, I know you're busy, but thank you for being here. Listen, guys, before I forget, because I have a tendency to do that. Mr. Steele, thank you for being here. Mr. Bennett, it's good to see you guys. Before I forget, when you come into the live, make sure you're giving us the thumbs up, all right? Please. And I will remember to say that throughout today's live. Please don't allow me to forget. But I want to tell you a couple of things. Scam Likely, how are you? It's good to see you. Listen, I am so glad that you all are able to be here. Let me know, please do. And don't forget, guys, let me know what y'all think about this 4 p.m. Eastern time live show. Because I like this actually. It's good so far. But let's just, everybody gets to participate. That's good. And then you guys can go to the other content creators, their other platforms later on this evening, and I can go visit or whatever. So this might work out good for Security Boss, because I'm trying to find my niche, guys. I'm trying to find out where I fit in. And I want to be able to touch as many people as possible so we can have this thing and just, let it go. And because I don't like to move around, but I will do that just to see where we are. Black Man Unfiltered, 119 away from 1,000. Listen, guys, if you have not yet subscribed to Black Man Unfiltered, he is my co-host. We often see us on Monday or Tuesday, but please do go to his channel and subscribe. Please do that. Also, if you have not subscribed to Unsolicited and you're new here today, we definitely appreciate you here in the live being new, but make sure you go to Unsolicited, Security Boss Unsolicited, and also subscribe. Hey, Senior, you like it. Elena, hello, how are you? I'm glad you're here. But listen, tell y'all a few things. If those who are in my lives all the time, y'all know that we do the Money Line song. So there you go.
Money line, I'ma run it every time.
Y'all know how it go, right?
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Yeah. All right. So we have the money line song for several reasons. You know, sometimes it gets heavy. The topics get heavy. People start talking over each other and all that stuff. And it seems like as soon as these things happen, someone in the chat always gives a super chat. And if it's $9.99 and up, you get the money line song. And the money line seems to just make everybody happy. So I hope y'all agree. But to get the money line song, $9.99 and up, and I will definitely read your super chat. Now, we accept all super chats, and I will read all super chats. It's just with the $9.99 and up, we get the money line song, and we get to move our shoulders and enjoy the live. So with that being said, we're going to move on to some other things. I need y'all to pay close attention to this. SB Nation is coming out with merchandise. I think a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, I had on an SB Nation shirt trying some things out. Mr. Boss is designing some things, and you know what? It's looking very good. So this is what I want y'all to do. I want y'all to go to 2020 Show. Go check it out, 2020 Show. A better way, come to my channel, hit the globe in the top right-hand corner, and you can check out the merchandise. I want to hear what you all have to say about it because it's cute, guys. It's looking good. It's looking good. I hate to say it. No, I don't hate to say it. It looks good. But it's not time to order it yet because we're still working it out. But I want you all to see exactly what it looks like. I definitely do. Cedric says, Security Boss, the new time is excellent. Late night TV is too competitive for eyeballs and attention. I agree. Cedric, I agree. I love
Dearly
it.
beloved.
Love it. Love it. That's what I need to hear. Because I'm good. I'm good with coming on at 4:00 in the afternoon on a Friday. Y'all can, we can hang out. That's how I feel anyway. So listen, y'all go to the channel when we have time. Go to the globe, top right hand corner, check out the merchandise. It's got Security Boss all over it. I shouldn't say that. It's got SB Nation all over it, but it looks like me, guys. Y'all need to go check it out. Listen, I want to know if you're interested. Can you pre-order? I'm gonna have to talk to Mr. Boss about that. I don't know yet. We're trying to find out a very seamless way to get you the merchandise. We're not having to wait too long that's not what's up. We have some things coming. They're not here yet. And I don't want to sell completely out before I get it back in. So I want to talk to you about that. But I first want to I want y'all to go over and take a look at it. It's very nice. And I'm also going to be wearing some as soon as we get in. I'm going to do a whole little advertisement with it on so you will know what it looks like. And y'all are going to love it. So make sure you go check that out. Go to the globe. Just hit the globe and you'll see it. But it's 2020 Show is going to be the name of the store. 2020 Show. But I'm tell you that now the next thing, this is the exciting thing. Next Wednesday, which is the 20th. Hey, Marcus. Hello. How are you? Will be the 20th, Wednesday, the 20th. I'm going to have the daily wrap up crew on the show. Now, if y'all don't know who the daily wrap up crew is, y'all need to go check them out. It's 3 guys and it looks like they get women. I don't know where they get from. I don't know. But they have women there that they're talking to and they are asking all the right questions and the women are coming out with all the wrong answers. I tell you guys, it's somewhat funny, somewhat interesting, and very knowledgeable. You know, Security Boss be like, did she say that? I do, because it'd be like amazing. Some of the things we say is amazing. But they're going to be here with me next Wednesday, April 20th at 8 p.m. Now, it's going to be an outstanding, I'm not going to call it an interview, but it's going to be an outstanding show. I need you guys to be here. That's Wednesday, April 20th at 8 p.m. Also, it is time. We've been waiting, but it's time. We have scheduled the first show of I Choose You. It will be April 29th, Friday, April 29th at 9:15 Eastern will be the first show. So y'all got to get ready for that. Y'all got to get ready for that. Please, y'all listen. I'm going to remind y'all almost every time I'm on here about April the 29th, Friday, 9:15, the first show of I Choose You. Y'all, it's going to be funny. Bolo, how are you? Hope you're doing well. Miss Sheila, thank you for being here. Guys, listen, I want some feedback on how we doing with this 4:00 show. I hope y'all enjoying it so far. But anyway, I Choose You, guys. I Choose You. April 29th, first show, 9:15 Eastern time. Listen, I can't tell y'all no more about it, but we're going to have some I ain't going to call them celebrity guests, but hey, Bella, April 29th. Yes, Bella, I'm sorry if you got some misinformation. Some people forgot about some things happening next Friday, but it was the following. April 29th, 9:15 will be the first show. M. Mills, how are you? It will be the first show, and it's going to be exciting. We're going to have some guests, judges that you all will know. Robert H., thank you for being there. Hopefully, everything. Listen, it's going to be amazing. So I'm excited about it. I can't stop smiling about it. So anyway, April 29th, 9:15 Eastern Standard Time. You're going to be here on Unsolicited with Security Boss. I can't tell y'all everybody. Security Boss and Aaron. I'm going to leave it right there. But that will be the first show. So Bella, it's time. So y'all get excited about that. And listen, don't forget on Wednesday, I need you all. And if y'all don't know who the Daily Wrap Up Crew is, go to their site. Just not Google it. Go to YouTube, Daily Wrap Up Crew, and you will love every episode that they have because it's amazing the way, I hate to say it, the way we be talking. Ladies, excuse me. We just say it. Y'all go check it out. It's going to be an outstanding show. And we got more to come, but I can't tell y'all anything else right now. I just want y'all to hang in there and you will see what we're talking about. All right. So if we got all of that in order, we're going to get the show started. And it's men. The title of the show is Men. She does not represent all of us. We need you. How about that? She being the one with the divest. Yeah. Oh, okay. Bella. Yes, they're going to be here. Bella, it's going to be an outstanding show. I just can't wait. Daily Wrap Up Crew is pretty big. Yep. Outstanding show. Nice guys. I cannot wait. One love, my sister, Security Boss, and one love to the chat. Thank you, XDMC. Listen, your comments are so funny. I've been meaning to tell you that, but hey, listen. Y'all got to be there. Y'all got to be for the Daily Wrap Up Crew. And I just don't want anybody to miss on the 29th of April, Friday, 9:15, the first show of I Choose You. Y'all can't miss it. Can't miss it. You can't miss it. But anyway, today, men, she does not represent all of us. We need you. And as y'all already know, even though we're doing today is still gender talks. So I'm going to throw my question out there and give y'all my frame of reference and what I think. And then, of course, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and I want y'all to come up and tell me what you all think. SB's giving us the bulletin announcement before the sermon. Yes, hey, guys, you're supposed to do. Make sure everybody's in the right place and on one frame of mind. How about that? And if there's anything else you guys need to add, please do. But listen, y'all, again, don't forget, and I'm not going to say it anymore, this show, but y'all hear it again. Don't forget to go and check my merchandise out. I think it's just on spot. I got to give credit where credit's due. Mr. Boss did it. I think it's lovely. I think it's outstanding for women and men. And don't forget the brims. But anyway, it's all there for you. I really want to know what you think. I will come back to you real soon with how you can order these things. But guess what? Keep continuously checking on my channel. I'm sure there'll be some information there too to where you can order them. But I will let you know when you can start ordering. I don't know about pre-orders, but I will find out. But make sure you just hit the globe. Go to my channel, hit the globe, and you will see it. Hit the globe, and it will be there for you. And I want to know what you think. And listen, if you have any suggestions of something that I'm not offering right now that you would like for me to offer, I'm open for that too. But anyway, check it out. But now, men, we do need you. And that young lady that has the divester sign or the ones that talk crazy, they don't represent all of us. I've been saying this now for a couple of weeks. I've been representing that for all my life. But, when I come over here to these YouTube streets, Tia, I understand that this is the message that is out there. And I understand that it's very detrimental. I often think about, not needing a man. How would that look? Or not being able to have a nuclear family at all. How does that look? Children not having fathers in the home. And how does that look, guys? How does it really look for us not to have marriages and all this individuality? How does it look for us?
Dearly beloved.
It doesn't look good at all. It's awful. So I'm saying that the woman that's on these platforms that is pushing the crazy message of brown baby deletions. We don't need you men. You men have ruined my life. I'm now going over to some other type of, I'm going to another race or what have you. Now listen, if you got a preference of what you want, great. Have your present. Love whoever you want. But don't try to tear us down in the process of getting there. All right? Do it. Just go. And men, don't worry about those women that don't that can't show you value. Don't do it. Because what I'm here to tell you, that there are a lot of women, and y'all gonna say, no, it ain't Security Boss. I'm telling you, we're not on YouTube, but there are women out there that do want the nuclear family, that do want the man in the household, that realizes we need you all. And we're not walking around with boards that saying we're divesting, because that doesn't, that's something made up, guys. I hate to say it. It's just so made up and just so ridiculous to even argue it. I don't know why we waste our time arguing these points, because love who you love. If you have so much trauma behind something that African-American Black man did to you, and you ain't had enough sense to go get help for it, then you get what you get. All right. But men, I need your help. I need your help, because a couple of weeks ago I said this, and I've been thinking about it. The reason why I think women have so much trauma, or I'm not going to say have trauma, forget that. I think the reason why women are in such fear is that, again, I said I don't see many examples. So what I want you to do, lots of divestors have been coming up missing. You know what, Bella? Let me tell you something. Black man told us a story about this. Black man, you remember your story you told us last night or a couple nights ago about how a divester married a man and they went scuba diving. And he took her down in the water and he pulled out the little plug on an oxygen tank. Just so happened somebody saw him do it. So she was able to be, well, I don't even know. Black man, you didn't tell me the end of the story. Was she deleted, or did she make it? I know he got caught, but I never asked you, did she make it? I don't know. So Bella, for you to say that, I'm not so surprised, because, I'm not so surprised. The Blueman Ebony says the nuclear family is powerful and beautiful. It is. And not only that, Bella, I'm going back to you, Bella. I'm not surprised by that, because guess what? When you hear these ladies talk, she did. So she passed away. So this goes to what Bella is telling us now. This young lady divested, and she thought she was doing better with some other race of person. And whatever happened, she ended up passing away. Now, that's a serious situation, even though I hear them talking and they make no sense, right? They make no sense, the things that they're saying. But I understand that they have seen some real traumatic things. And then y'all already know how this goes. Some people can't think individually or independently, not individually, independently. They can't distinguish what is right and what is wrong. So sometimes if you hear someone talking and they're saying things that are outrageous, they take it in and then they make it an issue. And then it compounds daily, because there may have been mental illness or some sort of imbalance there in the beginning. And then they make it their issue, their problem, their situation. And now, I don't know what made her think, the young lady that Black man has spoken of. Hello, Kosher. I don't know what made her think that this would be any different. The situation, there are good people that are Black. There are good people that are of other races. And there are bad people that are Black. And there are bad people of other races. You have to have enough in you to be able to figure out who's good and bad. You can't just say because they're a Black man, they're bad. And let's just delete all Black babies. And that's such crazy talk because of a bad experience that you went along with. I'm going to say it. Women, we have to be accountable for our decisions. We have to be. And if a young lady encountered or was in a relationship with a Black man and it didn't go well, I have to say I entered into that relationship with a Black man and it didn't go well. But that could have happened with me and any race of man. The same thing if a man abused me in some way. It may not be my fault. I still need help if that was the type of trauma that I'm walking around here with, to say that a whole group of people are not fit to be around anymore. And we need to, I guess what, I'm carrying this skin with me. I'm trying to say I'm divesting from them. That's a ridiculous statement. You can't, because I guarantee you, when things get tough, they will remind you who you are. You'll be reminded over and over again. So I want to go back though. Remember, I said there are a lot of people. Before I do that, let me go ahead and speak to a senior. And thank you so much for your $9.99 super chat. He said, "Oh, hold on, Ace. Let me make sure I get your comment." It says, "SB, I meet a lot of women that are good women that don't want children. What are your thoughts on that?" I will speak on that. And I don't see, we'll talk about that. Now, I think you get the money. I know you get the money line song for this. So here we go.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Thank you so much, A Senior. Luke Casely, thank you also for your $10 super chat. She says, Sheba dog rolling on the floor, laughing out loud. Thank you for that. You get the money line song.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
So let me share something with you all. When someone says that they want to divest from the race that they are in, they're basically telling you that they're sad. They're very emotionally troubled. If you can't love the skin that you're in for whatever reason, you're very troubled and you need help. Now, I don't know why I guess I do know. From what I'm understanding, there's a lot of monetization in this kind of hate speech or hate talk. It feels good to get a whole group of people together and we all think alike and we hate each other because we are the same race, or we hate others because they're that race too, instead of just loving ourselves. It's kind of just a crazy thought. No one in that whole group is saying, you know what, maybe we need to get a little help because, my mama was Black, my daddy was Black, or whatever the situation is. But to hate yourself that much, or a race of people, you got to know that much anger that you would say you needed to delete, or we shouldn't have any more of their babies and things of that nature. That's just some trauma, unhealed trauma and fear, possibly. Or it could be just, okay, you know what? I kind of like the way this look. I kind of like this sisterhood that we're in right now. Let's push this because we don't have to have men and we don't need men. It's wrong, sisters. You do. You will. But I do want you to get help. This is a new age thing. It hasn't been going on for long. So I'm just, I'm not going to throw you away. I'm not going to entertain you, but I'm not going to throw you away because I want all of you to be helped and healed for whatever it is, because I don't wish any amount of trauma on anybody. And I don't wish any man to produce any amount of trauma on any woman, vice versa. I don't, because I see my men too. I see my men in pain. I see what a bad woman can do to a good man. I see it. I see the rage. I see the hurt. I see the aftermath. I hear it here, and I'm praying for healing for all. But we first have to recognize who we are and what we've done and where we are. There are bad people everywhere, y'all. There are people that are evil. There are people that do bad things. It's not because they're Black. So let's just first understand that. It's just not because they're Black. But I've been hearing something lately, and I'm not going away from divesting. We're going to drop the link in just a little bit. And I want you all to come up and tell me what you all think about these people these young women that are talking about divesting. I would say, men, you allow them to do whatever it is they want to do. Don't entertain them and just let it go. I do know that there's some very well-known ladies that are spewing this hate, and they have all types of following and what have you. I don't get it. I don't understand where the problem is, but we can't devote all our time and energy into that when I know that there are women out there that want men, that are feminine, that want to be married, that are loving the way that they are as Black women, or whatever type of woman that they are. I realize that. Big Bad Bull, Sugar Bum. Listen, I need to know from you all, how do you like this time spot of 4:00? I'm thinking about doing something different because Big Bad Bull, you're the one that encouraged this. And I'm going to tell you why. I love the fact that you're in my comment section. I love your comments. I love your chat. You're part of SB Nation. You know this. But for me to hear that you can't be at my show because you're working, and I want you to work, is not something I like. I want you to be able to be here if you want to be here. So I'm trying this out for people just like yourself. And I think Mr. Steele might be in one of those situations also. So I'm looking out for you all, making sure that y'all can come share y'all time with me and also with others. I would love to do that. So listen, what was this? Let me see what this Aaron Chanel says. I'm confused. I mainly hear Black men, or is that black men, talking about divesting. They have a whole group called Passport Bros. Again, they're speaking about that because it's like we're just challenging each other. But like I said, I'm not going to give my energy to that because I know that there's a whole lot of people that want to be married, want to be together. And there are a lot of great men out there and women. Now, if some kind of way that they have gotten, they're listening to this message, which I think is not a real message, for a young lady to go on panels and talk about how she has divested from everything black and she's a black woman. Okay, I don't know how y'all thinking about her, but I'm looking at her and I'm thinking that there's some issues. My heart is going out to her. I'm not angry with her. I'm actually thinking to myself, okay, she needs help. It's not a negative. It's more so we need to pray for her because it sounds ridiculous. But this is what I'm talking about. When someone says to me that they're missing, I'm thinking, you know what? I'm not surprised by that because I don't know what attitudes or whatever they're taking to these other groups of men or what have you. But if you can't get yourself together, I don't care what man you got. If he a real man, you're going to be corrected. So for us to think, women, for you all to think, and I hope the ones that's in my group are not thinking this way. If you think that you could take this negativity, this bossiness, this rude, this honorary behavior to any man, and I mean a man, then I need to check you because they're not going for that just because they're not black. You're supposed to give a man respect. You got to value them. And that's all men. So if you're taking that kind of noise, thought process, all that mindset to someone else, you're going to get what you get. So it could be black man. It could be a white man. It could be Hispanics. It could be anybody. You still have to respect the opposite race. Opposite sex and race. Hey, you have to. So if you haven't changed any mindsets, you divesting from a black man ain't saving you at all. It doesn't work like that. You have to save yourself. You got to get your mindset changed. And that's what I'm here to do. But guess what? There are women here that already want the marriage relationship with the black man. Oh, they want that. So why do we have to put all that concentration on the ones that divest? Or even the Passport Bros? I understand with them. They're saying that there's no more women out here. I don't believe that. It may not be easy, but it could also still mean I got to get myself together. I got to get over my traumas that I experienced with this black woman or whomever. And then I can maybe open myself up to another woman. It's still work to be done, but we got to do the work. Let's just do the work. Let's see where we're going wrong. And let's just do the work. It's a bunch of them out there. I've been hearing that antisocial, socialite podcast. I understand there's a bunch of groups out there. And what I'm hearing from both sides is trauma. And it's just getting more extreme and more extreme. It's just more, and we keep feeding into it. And it's almost like it's just we're just monetized. It's just about money. It's not about trying to help either side. The women are not being helped. You following someone that is just spewing hate. Now, nobody else sees that that's a problem. And the men are trying to get free, but it's almost like they're running away. I don't want you to run away. I want you to recognize and to see that there are women here that are okay. So, but that brings me to something else I want to talk about. I'm going to add to this because I can understand where some of the traumas have come from on both sides. I noticed the other night, a young man was saying to me that, now when you say dating, in my years, dating was dating. You would maybe go to the movies, out to eat. Like I always say, car wash or whatever. Dating was dating. You dated. But now I'm understanding that dating actually means having sex, y'all. And if we're doing this, a lot of times, I'm putting this all together as I hear it. A lot of times dating and having sex is unprotected. Now, he told me, Donald, I hope you understand that I'm using your example. Donald said that he had a sure way of not to get a woman pregnant, right? He said he was using discipline. Donald, you said your discipline was the pullout game. Donald, I'm glad it's been working, but I'm telling you, I need you to invest in 100% way that this won't happen to you. Okay, meaning what won't happen to you is that you get a woman pregnant and you're not ready to have that baby, or you're not ready to be a father, because this is where traumas come in, guys. Women are different from men. Okay. Men are different from women. if we're all out there just having sex and there's no commitments, I asked them about marriage. Nobody wants to get married, but they're just having sex. Now, I don't know if y'all know this, but women, when we do that, this is an emotional thing. They think they like you. Women think you like them when they do these things. Now, I'm understanding that the woman today is changing. That's what y'all think. But what do you think all this masculine energy and all this craziness, shaking of the head and attacks are coming from if they're changing? See, they're not changing. They're becoming more angry and more filled with trauma because of the things that they're doing. The acts that they're participating in right now is creating a more angry young woman. It is. So I'm asking the men, y'all don't participate in that. Don't do it. Don't give them what they want. I hate to say it. Don't give them what they want, because it's just making them more angry because you don't want them. You don't. You're there for the sex because that's not the one that you want and you're ready to leave. But when we have sex with people, when women have sex, y'all, it's emotional. There is an attachment. I hate to say it. And then when you leave, the attachment is now, quote, broken. Not exactly. Let me do this super chat. Luke Hazley, thank you so much for your $10 super chat. And she says, people are going to do whatever they want to do and will suffer the consequences from choices. Concentrate on those that want to be a part of your circle. I agree so much. And thank you so much for your $10 super chat.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah. So let me say this to you all. Sir Chai just super chatted $2. Thank you so much for your super chat, Sir Chai, and thank you for being here. Listen, M. Mills, you're exactly right. It's never meant sex to me either, but in this new time, I'm talking like from 18 to 25, that is exactly what it's meaning. And that's what they told me. So happy Friday, Unsolicited Security Boss. Thank you. What do you think about this Friday? I hope y'all like it. I kind of like it. But anyway, I'm going to get back to it. So listen, guys, I'm telling you, men, something you all may have not known. When women have sex with you all, there's a connection. And I don't know if has anybody discussed this with you, but what it's causing is trauma when you decide to leave. This young man said to me that he's been doing a pullout game and he was very disciplined in not getting anyone pregnant. And I was like, okay, that sounds good. Until I knew the method, and the method was the pullout. And I'm thinking, oh, wow, I need you to be accountable for whatever happens from you pulling out or not being able to get completely out. And I don't think they actually think about that. So listen, this is creating, and I'm dealing with the women. This is creating a woman that is full of trauma, full of hate. Because I'm going to tell you what it's doing. You just rejected her. Because all you wanted was sex. Now, we can tell you all day long, I don't want nothing from you. I don't need you. But we having sex with you. Now, sex changes women. I don't know, y'all, they can keep telling you that it don't, but sex changes us. It does. And a lot of times when you're having sex with these women, they want you. They think that you want them. And if that's not what you want, and you're not interested in having a relationship with these girls, don't do it. Don't do it, because what I'm seeing is a lot of trauma. Now, on the flip side of that, when you do decide to be serious with this woman and you say, okay, this is the one I like, and she's been with so many different guys, she's become numbed emotionally, and then, or maybe touched, or whatever the trauma she's dealing with. Now she's bringing that into the relationship, and you want to be, you want to think about marrying her. And then she can't even accept who you are as being a good man. Again, more traumas that we haven't healed from. So I'm asking the question to men. This question is for men. I need to know from you all. I'm just going to call it irresponsible. I'm not going to put no names on it. We have names for these people. We name people things, and I'm not going to do that. But I need to know, as a young lady, say if I was a young woman, I needed to know, who is this irresponsible guy? And who is the guy that is husband-like? Because if we all are having sex, and because we're dating, and some are unprotected and some are protecting, how does a woman know? How does a woman know who isn't Pookie and Ray Ray versus a good guy? And I asked the question to this young man the other night. I said, so if you're indeed looking for a woman that has a low body count, why are you all contributing to having sex with these women all willy-nilly? Why are you doing that? Because you're raising the body counts, and you also may be producing babies. A lot of times these girls go delete these babies and don't tell you nothing, which is another problem in itself. But guess what, guys? It causes trauma. It does. And then all this goes along. And then when they get about 28 years old and doesn't have a husband, nobody wants them. Nobody's putting forth that effort. Now, guess what they're doing? They're divesting. So guess what? We just figured out who divested, right? It's someone that has played the games, which we shouldn't have played before, but nobody said, I ain't going to say that nobody tell them not to play. But sometimes we play these games thinking we're going to win, and then we lose. And then now the people that we played the games with, they don't want to be with us, or they're not giving us what we want because I'm not presenting to them what they need. So now I got to go somewhere else. And this is both sides. So let's stop playing the games. Let's stop playing the games. But guess what? We got to put it together some kind of way, because not everybody is playing the games. But I want to identify the problem at the beginning before I do that. This is the Antisocial Socialite Podcast. Thank you so much for your $10 super chat. And it says, keep up the great work. You get the money line song.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah. So listen, I see a comment here in the comment section. Let's roll it down just a little bit. It was one right here by the Blooming Ebony, and she says, it does, Miss SB. There are young women leaving sexual liberation movement. Yeah, that third wave. I know what you're talking about. They realize that they've been lied to by feminists and told them sex was just sex. No, sex has never just been sex. This is the creation of something. You know, that's why, oh God, I actually know that you're right. Listen, I wanted to talk about feminism, but feminism is so much, and we're living it. The third wave is really what, that's a woman wrote a note, an article, and she started with, the third wave kind of started with Clarence Thomas. And I know that's probably way before most of you all, but Clarence Thomas was the man that they brought into the Supreme Court, but he had already been, I'm going to say accused. I can't remember if they found him guilty or not, of having an affair with the young lady, Anita Hill. And they talked about how Anita Hill, how all those men on Capitol Hill talked in the trial, how they judged Anita Hill, and long thing short. But anyway, the young lady who kind of announced or made it a movement, she spoke about how the fact that Anita Hill had been violated, how the men didn't care anything about it. And she put a challenge out there to women, you see how they treated her, this is why, we are underrated. Nobody cares about us. That's why your husbands can R-word you. That's why now we got to have domestic violence laws and things of that nature. So the third wave is the movement. It changed. It made women very liberated in their sex, but it's not sex. It's not sex. So guess what? Now it's showing you exactly. Another thing too, I want to add to it. Just the other day, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Jess Hilarious. Jess Hilarious. That's her name. She did this little skit when y'all listen, she talking so fast. I want y'all to go back and look at it though. She did a skit and she mentions Cardi B, a lot of city girls. I don't know these people. Y'all, I know Cardi B. Y'all know I do, but it's a couple of the people that she mentioned. And she said that we're out here as young women. We waiting on some more songs with more instructions on how to be these women who don't need men. And all of y'all are married. Y'all sitting up there with Offset, and she named all of them with men. Y'all all booed up, and y'all telling us broke women how we don't need men. And we sit here waiting for instructions from y'all, and y'all knew another song so we can move on with our life, and y'all all married. So guess what? The Blooming Ebony, you are exactly right. They're figuring it out now that somewhere along the line, somebody lied to me. And guess what I said earlier? It's all about money. It's all about money. And I guess we're so troubled and we're so hurt that anytime somebody can connect with us and make us feel good about our trauma and let us just go with it, and we say stuff that's just so wrong, and they be like, oh yeah, girl, yeah, then they're now our friends. We now think alike. We're now buddies. So I'm gonna tell you something else in just a moment, but I'm gonna read this super chat really quick. We unlock. Hello, how you doing today? He says, thank you so much for your $10 super chat, and then we're gonna give you the money line song. But he says, sharing a bed with someone with someone you do not love or respect is like sharing a negative energy. You are just causing more confusion. Yes, but if we think we have control over this and we think we're operating in what we want to do, because remember, that's what the movement has told us. Women, you don't need to have this. You don't have to have a covering. It's not verbally saying these things, but that's what it's showing them. You don't have to have a covering. You don't need to be protected. I got you. Even if you need to have a child deleted, just come and talk to me. I'll fix it. But nothing about why you think this is a problem. Why are you acting like this? None of that. Now, Maria, thank you so much for your $9.99 super chat. She says, I lived in the feminist movement, and when I got divorced, I took time to fix myself and reevaluated my life and my choices. You have to be right with yourself before you can be right for someone else. Exactly, Maria. But you took time to do that. You were mature enough to do that. But these are ladies. These are young women. Remember what I said. I talked to a young man the other day, and I want to say he said he was 25 years old. So I'm talking to women. We're talking about women that are from 18 to 25. These women are listening. These women are playing the games with their bodies and their mind. They're giving themselves to young men, and men are accepting, and the vice versa. And for some reason, they think that they can handle the consequences that comes with having, one, unprotected sex, two, maybe having a baby, or just having sex, period. They actually think that they're ready for those consequences. Now, I don't know if someone's talking to them or nothing, but when you have a group of women and they are 100,000 strong, and they're telling you, you good girl, you don't need no man. Yeah, he did you wrong. He did this and he did that. And they never once said to you, why'd you sleep with him? Or you didn't have to do that. You know, you didn't have to do that, right? When they do that, and no one is calling attention to what you're doing, and nobody's telling you to be accountable for what you do, so you cannot make those mistakes again. Or are they sharing with you what you're actually doing to your body and your mind? Or are they saying, guess what, girl, you need some help? All they doing is saying, you good, girl, let's have some more fun. Let's go have these, what they call it? Let's do some more sticky links. Or let's have some more girls night out where we're controlling the situation. Let's run it on this guy. Take all his money. You ought to hear how they talk. I know y'all probably know. But anyway, we got some money line songs we need to play. Let's see who it was. I think I missed something. If I missed it, I apologize. Maria, did I give you the money line song? All right, we're going to give the money line song for Maria, and we unlock. So we unlock you first.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah. And Maria, you get your money line song too. Listen, I love y'all comments, so here it goes.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah. So now the women, I feel, are finding out or figuring out that the feminist movement is not what it is supposed to be, or not what they thought it was. They're growing up, and they're 28 years old now, and they're getting older. They may not have any children because they've done whatever it was they needed to do to get through their 20s. And they don't have any suitors that are interested. Now what? So now they're blaming everything they've done through their 20s on the men that they did it with. And it just happens to be lots of times black men. But you know what? That's not necessarily true, because there are white women that are feminists that have just as many problems in Hispanic. It's Asian. Listen, I'm not even talking to you like that. Women need to smarten up. We need men. I love my man. I love my covering. Women want to be married. They need to be married. So it's kind of crazy, but these divestors, they're not saying, see what I'm saying? They're not even saying that they don't want this. They're just saying they don't want it from the black man because everything they've seen from the black man has been disgusting. And they're just no good. They did this, and they did that. No one has said, what did you do? What did you do? What part did you play in it? Nobody has said anything like that. So hold on one moment. We got a super chat that's come in, and it is from Chantel. Hello, Chantel. How are you? Thank you so much for your $9.99 super chat. And it says, first time catching a live stream. Love your content and the money line song. You get it, girl.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Miss Simone. I'm glad to see you here. Listen, I've never done a 4 o'clock in the evening or Eastern time show, so I love it so far. The crowd is here. Everybody's loving it. So I am definitely going to invest in this again, and I hope to see you all the next time. But I'm not going anywhere. But I'm just telling you about this. Listen, men, I'm saying to you all that we need to invest time in our young men. We really do. And yeah, I am going to invest time in our young ladies, because I'm going to say this again. From the ages of 18 to about 25, they have gotten the wrong message from this feminist group. And they've been telling them that they're empowered. Listen, I'm not going to knock the whole feminist waves. Y'all know that, because the first 2, they were okay. But when it came to the time where they got so sexually liberated and we don't need men, and we it's getting a little funky out here. All this equality. I don't want to be equal to a man. I don't. I love the covering. I want to be married. I want y'all to cover us. I do. I want y'all to go out and fight the hard battles. I don't want to do anything over my head. I tell my husband this all the time, guys. I've been saying it for years. I don't even want to look up. I don't. So the message that they've been putting out there that we can do all these things is a false message. But I don't know how we got confused about it in the beginning. Why did we think that we could do everything that men can do? That doesn't take away from us. We're smart women. There are smart women here. There are smart men. We're supposed to be assets to each other. If my husband's got something, I say this all the time. I hate saying it so much. But listen, if my husband got something he needs for me to do, I am going to do it. All you got to do is ask. And guess what? And when he's not asking, I'm still the wife. I'm going to bring him that sandwich in the water, and I'm going to fix the plate. It's okay, because guess what? It's good over here, y'all. I got what I want. I'm living good. I feel good. I mean, I could be better, of course. And listen, it's not perfect. We have our times. But guess what? It's better to be covered and have somebody provide for me and protect me than to be out here in this world worrying about sneaky links and other things that this world has to offer, which is nothing.
Dearly beloved.
Nothing good. Black Men Unfiltered. Security Boss, did you know they have a linked multiple partners to postpartum depression because of sexual imbalance that affects the pH balance? I didn't know that, Black man. What are you saying? Because the women are exposing themselves? I mean, I wouldn't doubt that, because those are consequences for doing that. Y'all know this. Listen, no one has discussed these consequences with these young women. These women are hearing and following the group. They're hearing and following the group. Now, this is something I tell you, I've been talking about influence for the last 3 weeks. And I hear women come at me left and right about this influence. This is why I tell you guys, I got married. I love my girlfriends at one time when I was single, but as a married woman, I can no longer do the single girlfriends. And it comes with influence. The single girlfriends or the single-minded individuals, they do carry a single mind. They do. And there's influence that comes with it. So we're seeing this. These women, 18 to 25, are following a group. They're calling it the sisterhood. This girl said, I heard this girl say today, Black man sent me a video where this young girl is saying, we're building a group of women. And where are we going with it? Where does this group go? If we're all women, that means there's no more children. If there's no more children, there's no more families. If there's no more families, where are we? What does that mean? How does that look to have no more nuclear family? There's nothing anymore. There are no more Black babies because nobody's having them anymore. Where does that put the Black man? You know, who gonna protect us? Who's gonna do it? Another woman? You gonna run out there and get the dog? You gonna chase the rat? You gonna go out there and make all the money? What? Who's gonna protect you? Ladies, y'all need to just sit back and think about this thing. Who's going to protect you? Why is it that's even a thing? Adam came first. What is it? What do we want? Listen, I understand the trauma. I understand. I've been done wrong. I have had a broken heart. I have. And if you all have never experienced, a broken heart is very, very real. You feel as though you're about to die. You know, it comes from loving a person. It comes from giving yourself to someone totally, sexually, mentally, all the energy, everything you got. You gave it over. You trusted this person with it. You didn't even know you were trusting them. You thought you were just having a good time. And then he decided that he wanted someone else. And he didn't check it out with you first. He just went on with someone else. And you found out about it. Broken. If you never experienced it, I'm glad you haven't. But if you have, y'all understand what I'm saying. Brokenness. And this usually happens when you're young, because when you get older, you get wiser and you're a much smarter person and you understand how these things work. But a young girl has given her life over to someone, you know, thinking that, oh, he likes me. I love him. You know, some of us don't make it out of it. Y'all have heard many times women and men deleting themselves because they just couldn't get past the hurt of another person that they were involved with in a relationship. Y'all have heard it. I've heard men do it. I mean, it's a show getting ready to come out. Here we coming up soon. I think it's going to be on Lifetime. It seems like a Lifetime show where a young lady, a young man was talking to it's a real show though. It's real, where it's a little Caucasian couple, and she was talking to the boyfriend, I think, right before he did it. And I think the thing was they charged her with his death because she just didn't believe him. And I want to say the conversation that she had with him right before he passed away, or before he deleted himself, was, go on and do it then. She had no idea what she was saying. She has no idea. And he did it. And I think they actually charged her with his deletion, with his murder. I don't remember the outcome of it, but it's a trial. It was a trial a while back, but it's a movie now. It's coming out soon. I don't know if y'all have seen it or not, but it's a real thing, guys. It's so real. The young boy took his life. He was sitting in his truck. And he loved that girl so much. And y'all understand this. That is not something that you're supposed to experience at that young age, because your mind mentally can't handle it. Remember, a young lady matures much faster, about 3 to 5 years faster than a young man. So they were like maybe 18. Oh God, it's so young. He ended up taking his life, right? So I'm saying to you, I heard a young man say just a couple nights ago that dating is now basically screwing. So they're screwing without any concerns, they're not even thinking about tomorrow. This is a very emotional thing. And I said it already. I just walked you through the life of a divester. She did it. They did it. They thought they were in control. Now you're 28 years old. Nobody is willing to marry you. You have no one. You have nothing. And then all the trauma that you've endured over the years is due because of a black man. But guess what? You made the decisions to be with him. Listen, we're not off the hook, guys. I'm not trying to make it your fault. Hey, Sway, we're not trying to make it your fault. I'm not. I'm going to be real with it. But see, that's the first step of healing, is being real and taking accountability for the part that you played in it. But that's not what the women's group is doing. The women's group is saying they did it to us. We're victims and we're not going to do this. We're not going back down this road anymore. So listen, I don't care if none of them, we don't see another black baby again. I don't care. It wouldn't even bother me. Now, what did the black baby do? Nothing. Because we don't ever have to do anything. Y'all know that, right? You know, women decide to have intercourse with men. We do. We play well, let me say this. Unless someone's taking something from you, and then that's a crime in itself, right? It's a crime in itself. So I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people who enter into relationships knowing full well what they're doing. Again, sometimes, most of the times, we're not emotionally ready for it. I realized this the other day when the young man was describing to me that his disciplines were to pull out. I don't think that he was ready for what could possibly happen. I mean, he seemed like a real serious-minded young man, real smart guy, but I don't think he was ready. I mean, I told him my advice, or I ain't gonna say my advice, but my comment was to him. I said, listen, just make sure that you're absolutely ready for whatever could come out of that, whatever it is, because you are indulging in the sex. You're indulging. So if something, I'm gonna tell you what happens when you indulge in sex. You could get diseases, you could have a baby, you can, now I'm understanding some other stuff can happen. All these things can happen. Now, are you completely ready for it? Now, if you're ready for it, there's nothing else I can say to you, but have you thought about all these things? And if the pull-out method is the best method that you can come up with, then I'm good with it. I've already told you. So now you know. But if not, then I need you to slow down and I need you to think about it. I need you to say to yourself, but what if I don't pull out at the right time, or whatever the situation may be, and I leave a baby behind? Am I willing to take care of that child? Because then you got a whole nother thing that's coming up. Because then now we get into the part about the system. These women got this system behind them doing this and doing that. Now, listen, guys, every woman is not on the system. I want you to control your life. And women, I want you to be accountable for your decisions. But in all of that, I'm not going to put my attention on the ones who have or who are not ready to do that. There are so many women out here, the Blooming Ebony, Brittany B, so many women with Taya. It's so many women out here that are ready. I'm going to concentrate on them and men, and I'm going to make sure that if whatever they need, however I can help, I'm going to give them the advice or whatever it is from a woman that's been married for so very long. Chantel, all of these ladies, and Chantel is doing the same thing. She's over there preaching and advocating for men. Bella, how could I forget you? Gosh, I'm trying to set you up. I didn't forget you, but the names wouldn't come into me as fast as I would have liked them to. But YouTube is unsafe. Oh, I hear you. Let me see. Can I read that comment? But my point is, I'm trying to just make everybody aware that everything we hear, young ladies, I'm making the ladies aware, because we tend to want to have, we want to make group decisions. And what I need you all to be is independent thinkers. If something, we got to stop thinking in the day today. We got to think about 10 years from now. This is what I was going to ask. Listen, y'all just got to come. Y'all got to see the Daily Wrap Up Crew. If not, y'all need to go to their channel right now and check it out. Y'all can see what I'm saying. These women, they say stuff that is just outrageous. Okay. And when I say outrageous, they're very serious about what they're saying. It's for me. I just can't get with it. Let's see. The Anti-Social Socialite podcast says YouTube is unsafe. Bro, we are all hiding behind screens. What are you saying? Okay, that means that she is talking to someone and it's not me, because I'm here. But either way, I'm going to drop the link in the chat, and I would love for you guys to come up and just tell me what you're thinking, because it's time for us to consider that we're dealing with real emotion. I do know YouTube is a space that is monetized and people are making money. I get it. But before I do that, Michael Richardson, hello. How are you doing today? Thank you so much for being here. I wanted to tell you, I really appreciate your chats. I appreciate your support, and I'm going to give you the money line song for your $10 super chat. But let me read what you have to say. SB, have they ever a word condom? Listen, we had a whole conversation about the condoms. What I'm understanding right now, heard of the condom. Let me tell you what they're doing, what I've heard. They said you can go into any drugstore now and the shelves are full of condoms. Full. They're not using them. This is real stuff, I'm telling you. They say they said security bottles, we can go in the store right now and the shelves are full of condoms. They said they had jars of condoms. I think this might have came from Mr. Logic, actually. He's told me that condoms are no longer, they're not caring about condoms. We had this whole discussion about ovulation and men needing to know about when women ovulate and things like that. And he was like, nobody's caring about the condoms anymore. So guess what though? You get the money line song.
Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline. Money line, I'ma run it every time. Give me mine, going up, need no decline.
Yeah, yeah. So, Michael, that's what's going on with the condoms. We're dealing with a different young person now. I'm not saying we knew any more or even did any different. There's some of us that experienced life, I should say, but things are different now. It's a lot more fluid. There's a lot more access, and there seems to be absolute no fear. It's almost like we're in such a virtual world that if we mess up one, we get a do-over. Now, y'all know that's not real. There's no do-overs. But I'm not going to concentrate on the ones. We just have to get the message out, y'all. We need each other, male and female. We need to let everyone know that it's real things. You're making real decisions when you continuously have sex. It's an emotional attachment. Some would say when you're having sex with women, you're married to them. Now, I don't know what your belief system is, but a lot of people would say that in olden days and times, when you sleep with a woman, she's your wife. Now, we all know that that's not what they're doing. And I asked about marriage, guys, and this young man said, nope, nobody's getting married. Nobody knows anything about that. What? So I'm trying to share with them how you can have unlimited sex with a wife and be covered and it be okay. Why would y'all not want that? Unlimited sex. I know people talk about in the marriage, women don't be having sex. They take it away from you and all that. No, let me share something with you. If your marriage, if you pour into your marriage and you get to know your wife, husband, I tell everybody in the beginning, I was reading books to understand my husband. I needed to know what make this man tick, right? I needed to know. Men, period. But I'm speaking to my husband. So if that's what you do to ensure that you have a good marriage life, why not do it? Because you're married forever. You don't go into it with the attitude of, well, I'm only going to be here about 10 years and then I'm going to get out. No, it's covering, it's protection. You're not exposing yourself to the things of the world. You're getting to know someone. You have a relationship with someone. You're sharing, you're becoming one with someone. You're on one accord. You have somebody that understands you and you understand. You can have unlimited sex with someone and nobody can judge you for it. And however many babies you all choose to have, you can do it and it's okay. It's all the things that you all say you want, but it's under the protection of being married and you'll be blessed for it. If you decide to have kids, you have them. You're intentional about your life. Right now, you're just living. Anything can happen. When you're just living, you're just living. Anything can happen. Anything goes. You shouldn't want to live that way. You should want to have some sort of direction or goal for your life. And I'm telling you, it can be done and it can be good. I've been married 26 years. In November to be 27. I still like my husband. I still love my husband. I still have sex with my husband. It's okay. Now, we don't have any more kids. My kids are grown and gone. So guess what? It's real good now because you can run all over the house, do everything you want to do. But we don't have to worry about those things that people worry about. And my heart goes out to women. I'm men too. But for the women, I want you to know, listen, it's been a wrong message out there. The men are not your enemy. We need you. Men, we need you. And ladies, I need for you to understand that. And whatever it takes for us to get to a place where we can understand the value of these men, I'm going to speak to you about it a little bit every week and tell you the covering is good. The life is good. I'm not missing anything. And if it requires giving up some girlfriends with the wrong influence, I'm going to give up those girlfriends because now my husband is my friend. My family is my life. And that's what I want to do. And if you want that marriage relationship, understand that that's what you got to do. I forgot about you, Ace. I'm sorry. How did I forget about you? Did I not give you a Moneyline song? Well, thank you so much for the $9.99 super chat. And I'm going to give you the Moneyline song. I don't know how I forgot about you. Forgive me. I can't forget about you, Ace.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Moneyline.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say this really quick, and then we're gonna speak to Dr. Panderson really quick. So listen, we have the feminist movement on one side that has given the women some really false hope and some wrong information, but there's something going on the male side too that's not all correct. And we're gonna talk about. We ain't gonna talk about it today. We're gonna talk about it soon though, because whenever we gotta talk about marriage and divorce in the same sentence, that's not real. And we shouldn't be doing that. Marriage and divorce shouldn't be in the same sentence. Marriage is forever. And guess what, men? Whatever you guys really want and you put your mind to it, you get it. So if you really want a marriage and you want a woman, you get her and you make that your goal for the rest of your life. So it's no need of entertaining these worldly things. Oh, but what if she? Oh, but what if that? Oh, but what happens when? No. It didn't happen. You got the car you wanted. You got the house you wanted. You got the investments you wanted. You did whatever you wanted to do. And you didn't put the negative thing on the other end of it. You made it work. So those people who are telling you, I need you to plan for the divorce at the marriage, we might need to watch them too. Okay? There might be some false information going on. Now I'm not saying that things happen. When things happen, and you have to adjust your life. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying, why do we need to plan for them? Again, if a man is a grown man, 40 plus years old, and he's already established in life, things may be different for him because we never know if people are genuine. I'm talking about those women and men that are coming from 18 to 25 years old and they're just getting started in life and they're building together. That is a relationship that needs to build. It doesn't need to be divorce. That just shouldn't be one of the things. Oh, we're getting married, but let's plan for the divorce at the same time. Come on. That's not success. That's not a successful thought process. But Sway, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing all right, man. I just got off work. I've been out of town all week for work, so I just got home and chilling. I just tuned into your stream, so I'm not 100% sure what you've been talking about in totality, but I just listened to the last about 15 minutes of it. Just either I'll answer questions on what's been going on, or I'll talk about what you've been talking about for the last 15 minutes. Either way.
Well, I'm glad you're here because you are 23 years old, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Good. Now, you may not be the best example because I understand you're a bit settled in life. So you may not be the best example, but I'm sure you can help us out a lot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, what you mean by settled down? You mean like what?
Well, I didn't necessarily. Yeah, pretty settled, meaning you kind of know who you are. You have a girlfriend. Mm-hmm. You're not really setting up no dates. Oh, let's go back a little bit. I found out a couple of days ago that the word date actually means we're screwing instead of just regular dating. This is what someone told me, from the age of about 18 to 25, when they say you're dating, you're actually effing. That's what they told me. Now, I don't know if that's totally true, but there was some agreements on that. So
I think if you are dating as a guy, if you are dating a girl, officially, you probably are fucking.
Okay, so that's what they said, but it didn't necessarily mean one girl. They're just saying, like, see, for us, when I dated.
Okay, yeah, if they're dating multiple women, definitely, that means they're probably multiple women. Yes, they're having sex with multiple women, and not just like that. Yeah, it can literally mean you're taking them on dates and whatever. But at the end of the day, sometimes it might just be a side piece, and you like, okay, that's a woman I'm dating. I'm not really taking her seriously, but I'm piping, so I'm technically dating her in a sense.
Very good. I'm glad you had. Okay, so yeah, you will work out very, very well. But I'm going to Dr. Panderson first. Dr. Panderson, how you doing?
All is well.
What do you want to add to this conversation, sir?
The dating, just because you're dating, that you're effing.
Yeah.
It's not exactly like that, but I can explain it. Men weren't born yesterday. These women aren't these innocent angels that these horrible men have went out there and they're victimizing and they're banging them out. They're lying and manipulating and Ubering them back to this. That's not what this is.
Why do you say that? Wait a minute. Let's stop right there. Let's talk about this for a minute.
Some dudes, yes, they are.
But wait a minute. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. If you knew that a woman was a weaker vessel and that having sex with a woman was basically marrying her, that's consummation of what it is. You're consummating a marriage when you have sex with a person. That's an emotional thing where energy is transferred. If you know that that's what you're doing and that woman is experiencing that with you, she's agreed to do it. But why would you say those things about her? Why would you say, she's agreed to do it and she's not taking account for it either, but that doesn't change the energy level. The energy is still being transferred.
Have you seen these? Is this what you see? Innocent?
Did I say innocent?
Or do you see heartless, cruel? And I'm not talking about all women. And shout out to all the good ones that are in the chat and that are.
No, I see
a majority of these innocent, sweet.
No, I don't.
And doing so much.
It all depends.
To the table. And
It all depends where we catch them. Whether it's the first, the second time, or the 30th time. It all depends on where you catch them. I don't know for sure, but I'm telling you that it's a real thing that sex causes a certain amount of trauma. Women want to be with men. I don't care what they tell you. I don't care how they act. I don't care how ornery they get. I don't care how much hell they bring up, how feisty they are. They want to be with men.
Then why are they not being with men? Because men have said what they were asked. It's pretty clear what they're looking for. And they're deciding, hey, we're not going to do this, but we still want to be with men. And they're going and reproducing with other men. And those men they're not with, actions speak louder than words.
Well, I think you just answered my question.
If they want to be with men, how come they're not going and being with men?
You just said they are going to be with men. It's just they're picking the wrong men.
No, they're not being with them. They're just doing what they do and getting Ubered back to the streets. A lot of them.
The problem is they can't retain men. They can get men's whole goal is to attain women. So if the guy met his goal, a lot of times it's like, okay, I met my goal. What are you going to do to keep me around? My whole goal in the first place was to vibe out and, have sex with you eventually, because there's a saying, most men don't really even know if they like you until they have sex with you. So a lot of the guys' whole point is like, you might as well just get it out the way. If you instead of making us wait so long, in this whole culture now where you said they, go through emotional trauma or, having sex, energies, intertwined, but women don't make it seem like that. They might say that, but in totality, the way they give it up, it doesn't make it seem like it's that important. Because honestly, they give it up for less than $20 dates. Sometimes they give it up for free. So I'm just saying, like, it doesn't come off that way, especially since the majority of virgins nowadays from 18 to 29 is not women no more, men. So it's like when we're talking about these, who are actually having sex and it's not a bunch of men. This, most of the men are fucking most of the girls. It's most of the girls are having sex while a small majority of men are having sex.
Right.
So it doesn't really seem the way you're talking. I understand what you mean, though. It's a good concept, but
it doesn't seem that way because the women are following a sisterhood method to this is what we're supposed to do. If you got people, if you're influenced by the Cardi B's and Meg Thee Stallions, they talk about a WAP. That's cool. That's in. We're loving it. So they actually think that this is what they're supposed to be doing. And I'm agreeing with you guys. It's totally wrong. So understand this. This is coming from someone that agrees with the men, but they don't understand how it is affecting them emotionally until they get older enough or socially mature enough to figure out, damn, I messed up. Now, since I've messed up, I go back and look. I really liked him. He was cool. This, but he won't even talk to me now because I was nothing to him. So now nobody wants me. So now I'm a divest. And the black man is now my problem.
I was going to speak about divesting. And it's something that people don't like hearing. A black woman can't go over there like they say they can.
Go over where, sir? Oh, to the other. I got you.
Other races.
Yeah, Ahmed, Enrique, Sergio, and they're not scrambling over here they're not coming over here to get these women and marry them.
And honestly,
they're saying that they're doing.
Yeah, this is a one anecdotal, but literally on the drive here with my coworker, having a conversation about, you know, women or the types of women we might like or whatever. You know, it was something basic along that line. We just talk about women. And he said, I'm not gonna lie to you, like this, being honest, I don't like black chicks. He's a white dude. And he said it's not because of their skin color. It's because they're so loud.
Yep.
That's what he told me. He didn't say because of their skin or they look bad or, you know, overweight or whatever the hell we say. He said because they're loud. That's on the outside perspective of our culture. So that's what, and this is just, you know, some run of the mill, you know, I wouldn't say he's a redneck, but he loves his trucks and got a beard and this old you know, his aviator glasses. So I'm just saying, like, this guy is a white boy. He's not like you know, city white boy, but he's a country white boy. He's like,
You don't want to deal with him.
But then on the same token, my other coworker who's 50, he was in jail twice. Another white man. He loves him some black woman. Got tattoos on his arm. Used to be you know, a pusher. So he loved him some black women though. He don't say the N word. He didn't grow up in the hood. He's more of a country boy too. But this guy, he loved him some black women. He got a black son. Most of the women, his girl he dates now is black. Anytime, you know, anytime we're going about, he's trying to see black women. He talks about women. He mainly talks about black women. The only women he wants to talk to or flirt with, black women. So it's like, you know what I mean? The personality types. It's not that there's no white men, but what type of white men are actually going to accept the type of, you know, women that we have? It's probably going to be the same type of, you know, energy that you don't want around you. But he's a reformed guy, so I have nothing against him. So he's good. He's a reformed dude. But I'm just saying, all in all.
So bringing up that point you just made. Okay, so listen, if a woman is loud and ornery and chaotic, she probably lives in that type of environment. Would you all agree?
I think she lives in an environment that accepts her being loud and all those things you said.
Yeah.
No one checks
around to find out.
Say that again.
I personally don't want to stick around to find out how, what, why.
I don't even think you should be involved in that. I think you should recognize that this is not the one and move on. I don't even think we should be having that conversation about those women, because I don't think those are the women that I'm talking about. Because it goes to this too. We often say, you know, women, you shouldn't be dealing with the Pookie and Ray Rays and the, you know, other names that are, I guess, the representation of men that are irresponsible. But if we all out here just having sex and Pookie and Ray Ray having sex and the responsible guy is having sex, I'm not going to call Sway. I'm just going to say, and Billy having sex too. And Quincy having sex too. We all just having sex. How do I know who's Pookie and Ray Ray and the responsible guy? How would a young lady know which one is okay? Because if I made a mistake, he's gonna have my back. Because we all just out here having irresponsible sex. How would a young lady know the difference?
Unfortunately,
the problem is that the problem is that one, women have for some odd reason think that they shouldn't take advice from men about women. Like, how can you tell me what a woman should look like, behave, act, move, or feel in the world? Because if you're not a woman, like that's a typical phrase. Like, how are you going to tell me anything if you're not a woman? And so, if a woman can actually ask a guy what men want, what they like, what they desire, how they move, you know, their sneakiness, they can ask this easily of a male best friend, a father, uncle, somebody who does not want to have sex with her. A male who does not want to physically have sex with her at all, that's never in his brain, they will tell her the honest truth about how they can maneuver and get what they want and what to look out for, what red flags. If anything, I think women should allow a guy in their circle to vet the men that she wants to keep around. At least hang out with them, like bring around, hey, whatever. I don't think you should say is my guy best friend. You can say as a childhood friend, or, you know, basically the hard problem with, you know, you bringing a male friend is that men don't typically like you having male friends. Because then, like, we think that male friend just wants to have sex with you. So it's a little double-edged sword if you use a male friend. But all in all, you do need a guy, I believe. If you don't have already previous asked a male what to look out for, and you're not comfortable or you don't trust yourself, then ask a male who doesn't want to have sex with you to vet the men.
But what I'm saying though, like for instance, I forgot who it was already, but someone just mentioned that. So you're saying that you don't want us to, men, we shouldn't hunt the way we're naturally hunt. And I'm just paraphrasing. So if a good guy you know, could be a good guy, not a Pookie and Ray. This is a good guy. If you all are out here just having, and I'm not talking about you all, I'm just saying, if you all are out here just having sex or dating without intentions, how is a young woman to know that you're not the one? Because he can be nice. I mean, I'm sure all of them are nice. We go on these dates, but then by the third date, we want to continue to date, but maybe you all already have sex and she likes you. So you go ahead and do it. Now, then you decide, wait a minute. And then you decide, okay, God, you ain't the one. Then you move on. She really liked you. Dr. Pennison, what did you have to say about that?
They're separate. I think they're separate. Sex and dating with intentions somewhat co-join, but they're fairly separate. Meaning, if I meet a woman, she's pretty, and she says, hey, let's get it in. If I decided I want to get it in, it doesn't mean that all of a sudden I'm a good man and she's a bad or good woman. It's separate. If I meet her and there's a connection and we want to date with intention and we have sex or don't, then we're going to date with intention. It's not connected, meaning because you gave him some, all of a sudden you're now a good woman. He got it. I mean,
well, I think it's pretty simple. I think that if women, this is a retention problem, because it's not like there's not good men out there or they never interacted with a good man or they don't believe it's good. But the problem is you aren't able to retain a good man. You're not able to retain a man of stable mind and stability or knows what he wants. And that's a bigger issue. I think a lot of women don't really feel like they have to compete for men. Don't really think they have to understand what men want. They think that men are just optional. They think they're a plethora, plenty, everlasting, never-ending amount of men that would want to take them seriously at any age and time. So I really think it is an ego thing, and that they need to understand that you're going to have to play this game too. You're in the game, you just haven't been playing it. You've been playing it, if anything, on easy mode, where everything just comes to you. Everything is pretty basic. You just walk through it, and you can get to the end of it without even trying. Men typically play it on hard mode, so it's like we have to figure out all the the different patterns and different move sets we have to do, and then your patterns and your move sets that you do. It's like we have to figure out the whole thing, where the secrets are, where the secret treasure, like little things that make the game easier. And it's like, if you can understand that everything is typically something that you're going to have to play, a lot of women would understand that you're in a game, but you just haven't been playing it. As I'm saying, you're going to have to figure out how to retain a man. And typically, men aren't going to let a good thing just go. Even if they're a broke man or a man of no character, typically going to try to keep you around if you are actually someone that they want to keep around. Like, it's pretty simple in my eyes.
It has nothing to do
but listen, the young man that I talked to the other day, he said nobody right now that he knows has the intentions on being married. So Big Bad Bull, to go back to what you're saying, it's absolutely the woman's responsibility to fornicate or have sex with a young man. It's all accountability. But I think some women enter these relationships thinking that they're going to have a relationship, and it ends up being just a hookup.
But
so this is what causes the trauma. No excuses for them. I'm trying to get them healthy. I'm trying to get them to a point where they can admit that they had made this mistake and account for it, so they can be healed and move on and not blame the black man for it. But we also want to recognize who is a good man. How can I recognize who is a good man if we all out there just having sex? And now I know that the intentions are not to be married. And a woman wants to be married. Well, I'm not going to say all women want to be married. Women want men to take care of them. I think that should be their ultimate goal. Women should want to have kids with a man and not be. I know you hear some of them say these little silly things, guys. I understand. I do. But I think that's women that's already been hurt and that are what we call spoiled or what have you. A good evidence of a good relationship is a woman that wants to be with a man. She wants to be with a man. She wants that man to be with her. And if a man puts time into a woman, how does she know? I'm going back to the initial question. If we all just having sex, nobody's having. See, it used to be a time where a man, he would date a woman, go on dates with her, and it didn't have to end up at the end of the night sex. It was, okay, I'm gonna get to know this woman for a time, and the woman was getting to know the man for a time. It was an automatic sex. It was not automatic sex. It was, we dated, and then after I found out who you were, then maybe I wanted to give myself to you. Wrong again, because we wouldn't marry, but I felt like, okay, he's into me. But see, I'm telling you that men and women are different. You guys think of sex is almost nothing.
It's
For
very primal.
women, yes, for women, it is a very emotional thing. They trip out, they flip out. Y'all
Okay.
serious.
So security boss, would you which part do you you had two parts. You want to talk about sex and then marriage. Which part do you want to tackle first?
What I want to know is, how does a
You're muted.
I can't hear
Security
you.
boss, you're muted.
Something wrong with your mic, maybe. Clicked out a wire. No. No, is it the wire plugged in behind it, maybe? I'm not sure.
Nope.
No, ma'am.
No audio.
Trying to wonder. It sounded like something was being pulled out. I don't know if it's the wire or not. Okay.
What's up, Sway?
Ain't much, man. No, ma'am.
That dustathon yesterday, bro. That was my God.
It was definitely a lot of hypocritical thinking. No, ma'am. I think it sounded like a wire, like something was slowly being pulled out, or I don't know if it's the wire in the microphone, or you want to unplug it, plug it back in.
Sway, I don't know. I think this is easy.
No.
I think it's easy.
I don't know why it went out. What's easy?
For women to determine if a man is good or not. I think it's just so simple.
Well, I think like what her points were, like I said, I wanted to know if she was.
The question, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead. No, ma'am.
Just on the man's side, I just think it's so simple to know if dudes.
I don't think it's, but it's not simple for them though, because typically guys lie to make them feel a type of way about them. So at the end of the day, women are going to pick how they feel, not actual logic. Whatever makes them tingle goes. So
I had a conversation just yesterday with my friend. He said the same exact thing, because of their feelings or because they think different than us. But I've never wore their shoes, so I only see what I see.
They can't. It's hard to compartmentalize logic with feelings for them. So regardless if logic goes against, if they feel a type of way about you, they'll do anything in their brain to rationalize, their feelings and why it's valid and why they should, see where it goes. Or, the world is an oyster. A lot of the times they think anything's possible. They could just dream it or manifest it, work hard enough, and it will just happen. They can change them, so.
Yeah,
but
it's a lot of stuff enabling that too. So
of course, that's why I wanted to understand, with security boss, like there's a lot of propaganda enabling, promotion of them acting the way they do now. It's not like men are pushing this. It's typically women that are pushing this behavior. Security boss, no, ma'am. Did you pull out your mic wire?
And here they go in the chat. I hate black women now. Really?
I mean, I don't think you hate black women. I just think, if you only come on to talk about black women, or troll black women, then they might think you hate them. But
you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
No,
I can hear you, ma'am.
So I control that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like slight delay. It's not anything crazy. It's just like when you talk, it's like 0.001 of a second it comes. But you say something? Security boss.
Is she froze?
I can't hear my guest, so we're still working on it. Something happened to our sound, but it's coming back soon. We got to go backwards.
Oh, she can't hear us.
Oh, she can't hear us.
Sway, can you drop down and come back in? Dr. Penderson, can y'all drop
ma'am.
out and come back in? There's something wrong with my sound. I'm not sure what happened. I can't hear y'all. All right, so listen, guys, I am so sorry about that, but we were saying my sound just went out, and who knows why things happen like that when you're streaming. But Big Bad Bull, what I wanted to say is that I'm just trying to get to a point.
Dr. Penderson joined.
I'm trying to get to a point where I want to have women understand, first of all, that we got to be accountable for what we do. So often we do play the victim role, and like the young men just said, the women are participating just as easy, is 1, 2, 3. I understand that. But what I want men to know is it's an emotional thing for a woman to have sex. Dr. Panderson.
Yeah.
Gotcha. I can hear you.
Yeah,
Good. All right. We got to get Sway back in here. I'm sorry. Say it again.
No, I'm good. I thought I heard an echo. I'm good.
Okay. All right. What did I miss? What were y'all saying while I was checked out there for a moment?
No, we're just having a general conversation talking about, of course, because I'm a man. As a man, I think it's easy for a woman saying, I want a good man. Because it's logical. What are men asking for? Fit, be a feminine, act like a woman, show some loyalty, be cooperative and smile and be nice. Pretty much look at what every other woman is doing and do the opposite. And men will start appearing out the sky. Been vocal and been saying this, and it's been proven over and over again. They're scrambling to get to these women.
Security boss, a lot of women don't even know how to cook.
Oh, I agree. No, I'm not. Listen, guys, I'm on y'all side, but I'm trying to get these women to the point where they can understand that they got a mixed up message. And it's very important that they get back into their feminine energy and be able to have men to cover them and not see right now they think that you all are their enemies. They really do. They think you guys are the problem.
But this is what I'm understanding. Like, but who's pushing this?
We already know who's pushing it, but we got to push something different.
I get it, but that also leads to men like we're gonna get this mentality after a while. We're gonna get tired of that, especially the men who haven't done anything like myself. I was born into this type of energy, so I'm like, after a while, I'm just like, it's not like I'm resentful. It's just I don't care. You know what I mean? It's right. Like I don't care how you're like you basically, you made your bed and a lie in a type of situation. If you're gonna have sex with a bunch of men, I'm sorry. I'm pretty sure you were shamed for being a hoe multiple ways, but for some reason you were just like, nah, I don't care. And so I'm like, all right, or having a children. I'm pretty sure people said we don't want you to have kids, or you're ashamed, or like, nah, I ain't never wife and a baby mama, or nah, I ain't never taken a baby mama serious. But y'all just like, nah, fuck it. Or to wait, you can tell who we actually want our girlfriend, or who we actually, wanted to be around or show our mom. Or in reality, it's like, do you really think you should weigh more than a man you're with? It's like,
but
so
listen,
it's like there's signs everywhere, but they're just like, nah.
That's simple stuff, though. That's simple stuff. That's all exterior. That's simple. I'm dealing with mindsets. I'm dealing with real stuff. I'm dealing with mindset.
It's like the
mindset, though.
The having sex whenever they want. It's like,
that's what I'm talking about. But guess what? If they didn't have any men to have sex with them, they wouldn't be getting done, right?
But you're giving men what they want. That's the end goal. Men want to have sex. Human beings typically are going to go the easiest route. So now that you're giving them what they want, especially men,
right? Then you turn around flexing them and saying, "I really didn't want you, though."
We're not flexing nothing. We're just saying
you taking what they're giving. You're taking what they're giving, but then you turn around and say, "But I really didn't want you."
Well, sex isn't the determining factor.
Wait, what? I didn't really want them, but if you're talking, some guys, the guys are gonna lie though.
Exactly. I'm not talking about you. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I'm trying to take myself out.
Right, because I took you out from the beginning, but let's hold that thought. Aaron O says, Aaron, how are you? He says, how does a man know if a woman wants to marry him? How does a woman know? Let me just say this, and I say this always blindly.
You're saying, how does a man know if a woman wants
to marry him?
A woman. Oh, go ahead.
Right.
Got it.
So this is what I say. Now, this is me. Y'all know, but we're dealing with a different woman. Aaron, I think all women want to be married. All right. This is me. I know what y'all hear. And if those women are screaming out they don't want to be married, okay, then don't even worry about them. But a woman that wants to be married, if a man is giving them the attention and pouring into them emotionally, that woman is reciprocating everything that man is doing, and she will marry you. But we move by your leadership. I promise y'all we do. We move when y'all say move. If you invest the time into us, we move by how you all move us. And this is so true. I mean, I know people are going to be fighting back and not agreeing with it, but I promise you. So if you bring in chaotic stuff to me, I am going to give you chaotic stuff. That's women. Listen, I hated to say this. I said it a couple of days back, and I think I heard Anton say it last night. I hate it when he said it. I hate that he had to say it, but women are like children. We are. So we move when y'all move. But listen, let me say this to you guys. It's a big responsibility to be a man, a leader, a head of a household. And I don't know if all men have sat back and really thought about how big of a responsibility it is. It's a big deal. It's not lightweight. It's not lightweight in any manner. It's not lightweight. It's heavy. Sway, I didn't say you didn't.
No, but you said I get it. You said men don't understand how big of a. Well, yes, we do.
Not all men. No, you don't.
Did I say all?
Not all.
You said yes, we do.
But yeah, for the majority, I would say at least 70+% of men
understand.
No. I say 70. I say
you know the role. You know it.
Okay,
You've heard it.
How many men? We want to stick to black men or men in general?
Men in general, 70.
Okay, black men. How many black men are single and childless?
Well, why are we talking about that? I'm talking about
no. I'm going to break it down. This is.
But see, you're forgetting. Listen.
No, you're saying the majority of men don't take it seriously, but the majority.
No, I didn't say that. I never said they don't take it seriously. I said they don't know. They don't know what it is entailed. Until you do something, you don't know. I promise you. You don't.
You said that we don't, in the sense that
understand.
I'm trying to understand that. Well, the way I took it is that we don't understand the level of responsibility it takes to be that. How
heavy it is. You don't.
But we do, and that's why we don't want it until it's the right time.
Right.
You can afford it or be in the right place mentally. A lot of times most people have sex without the intention of having children. And if they do, a lot of men don't want to have a kid if they're not ready for it.
That's not but that's not the majority of men. Well, you said it's not the majority of men, because if that was the case, we wouldn't have so many single women out there.
But how many men are? That's why I was trying to break it down to percentage wise. Like, if 54% of men are single, black men are single and childless, 30% of us are married. Who are they having kids with? It's not the majority of men. It's less than 20% of men that they're being reckless with. 50 plus don't have kids. 54 out of the totality don't have kids. Another 30 are married, so they're in a actual committed relationship where they can plan for that. And then the other are just spreading their seed, being reckless. That's not the majority.
Listen, there are 64% of single family households. So somewhere along the line, someone decided to leave for whatever reason.
And we're gonna go to divorce rates.
And you can't do that. You can't listen. It doesn't matter, because I'm telling you that I don't think that most men understand how heavy it is.
But I'm telling you, they do.
Even if they guess what? You say that they do. I'm telling you.
Why do you believe that they don't though?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because even when you're on the outside looking in, you don't know what it's going to deal you. You have no idea. When you're on the outside looking in, and I'm talking about marriage now. What are you talking about?
I'm talking
having marriage, having kids. Do you not think we talk about this stuff? We just don't talk about it on the internet. But talking about it, common stream of information of what's it's like to get married, the risks, how serious to take it, having children, the whole nine is. We know. It might not be told around y'all because it's a guy talk thing, but we all talk about this, how serious and how we don't want it, how we're not ready. We want certain things that we want. It's not PC to talk about it though, but we definitely know the seriousness and how that's why a lot of men don't want to get married unless they're ready or to the right woman. They don't want to have kids unless it's a certain type of woman. If a man asks you not to have a kid, not every time is the girl going to be like, no, I'll abort it or I'll do whatever it takes to not have this child. So like I said, a lot of people are reckless. A lot of women, they'll make an excuse not to be on birth control, not whatever the condom. Like I've heard multiple women say, I don't like the way it feels or whatever. Some chicks literally want you to bust in them because it feels good or some shit. Like I'm telling you, at some point we got to understand men really do take this serious. Men understand it. Men don't want it. And it's for a reason. I get it. Guys can't really always think with their brain because the dick literally has a brain for itself. And when it goes on, unless you jack off, that shit's going to keep thinking for you the whole day. You're just going to want sex. So it's like that's the detriment of men. But to say they don't understand having a kid, having children, or being in a marriage or being no, we understand the seriousness of it and the whole responsibility of it.
Okay, so guess what? You're still saying the same thing I'm saying, because the ultimate is you don't do it for whatever reason. But I don't hear you say that we understand it. What I hear is the women don't have it together.
We understand it. Like I said, most men don't have kids.
Most dudes aren't participating in this. It's a small group that are doing the dust work.
It's not most dudes.
It's a large percentage of the women who are doing the dust work. That's why.
Hold on for a minute, guys. Hold that thought, and then I'll tell you what I'm saying. Even if you're thinking about something, you still have no idea how it's going to be. And the fact that you're saying, okay, since I don't know, it is very serious, I don't want to be involved in it. But we're still indulging in the same behaviors that you would if you were married.
Are you talking about sex?
No, you're talking about sex in general. You're talking about just loosely going, because
everything. Hold on, y'all. Let's do this. Let's do this right here. Michael Richardson's. Let's talk about this super chat. Thank you, Michael, for your $5 super chat. He says, I have a comment on most women can't cook. Most men can't change a tire or mow lawn. The major thing be a provider and a protector. So
I can understand the tire thing, but mow a lawn.
Anyway, thank you so much, Michael, for your $5 super chat. But I think he's just trying to make a point. But anyway, I'm saying to you, Sway, if men have come into the knowledge that it's a serious thing that they don't want to do it, then I'm saying let's don't be a part of what's contributing to the fact that our community is falling apart. If you're saying I don't want to be married, I don't want to have any kids, then that would say to me, okay, then, I'm probably not going to have sex. I'm not going to be a part of producing or causing a woman to have any trauma, or vice versa, women too. But I don't know if the women are saying that. I think women want to be married and women want to be taken care of. They may not know how to cook. I don't know. They may, guess what? Saying, okay, the equivalent is you don't know how to change a tire. I don't know. I wouldn't, not everybody has it together. But the point I'm making is, if you are saying you understand how heavy it is and how important the role is of a leader, of being the head of something, that's your purpose for being here. That's who you are. That's how you were made. Why wouldn't you want to take that on?
Well, okay, there's two things. One, they're not ready for it. Or two, we're demonized for being that.
I hear
society more demonizes men for being men. That's a fact. I promise you, security boss, I get it if you don't know, but I'm young and I'm in the streets.
I hear negative. I do.
Society quite literally demonizes men for being men. They're toxically masculine, they're insecure, insert shame word here, whatever you want to use. They're demonized for being men. And like I said, a lot of men aren't ready to take on that burden of responsibility. Most men aren't ready to take on that burden of responsibility. That's why most men all of time, until this weird, bizarre world now, have not procreated with women. Only around 40 to 43% of men of all of human history have ever procreated. 99% of women have. So you can understand that most women aren't ready. They don't get picked. They won't ever see the light of day to have children, because women used to actually understand that if I have a child by this man, I might die.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take this very seriously. I'm not going to have a child by some broke, dusty, non-strong, non-provider, whatever it is, not the tallest, not, the top echelon of men that can actually do something. They aren't going to have a kid by them. And everyone shames you for having sex. It's not promoted for women to be sexually free and all this other shit where they have to, compete with men sexually. If a man cheats, you feel like, now I got to cheat because he cheated on me. Not understanding why a man cheated. It's not because he loves another girl. He just loves new pussy. The guy, men like variety. So it's weird when you're pushed women to be like men, and then you push men to not be men. I'm not going to even say be like women, just not to be themselves. And you're going to get this dynamic.
No, I agree with you. That's why I always push independent thinking. But, it goes back to the purpose. Ted said, so we shouldn't have sex. I can't remember it went so quick, but he said something about having sex. No, but the purpose of sex is to procreate. I mean, if you don't want everything that the sex includes, then you should be very selective or no to having sex. I'm not saying I want everybody to be married. Y'all already know that. So men shouldn't have sex with women, even though they want it and the men wants it. So I'm telling you, you have to be ultimately very responsible for whatever you do. I would say, I told y'all from the beginning, get yourself a woman, a wife. Women, get a husband, have unlimited sex, be married, have the covering of being married, living in your household, doing what you want to do, and there would be no shame behind having sex. Or you don't have to worry about all these things, you know, women being men or men being not being able to be men, because you're gonna find a woman that encourages you to be the best man that you can be. And I'm telling you, they're out there. But when everybody's just having this free-for-all sex, then how can anybody, you all included, how can you tell who's a good woman? Some women are just falling for it. I told y'all from the beginning, they're falling for what the feminist movement has dealt them. You're sexually liberated. But guess what else I heard today? I forgot what state it is or what city, but one governor has signed into law that there will be no abortions.
I think it was Florida.
No deletions. Sorry. Has already signed it into law.
Texas.
And they said, what? You get a 10-year jail sentence, prison sentence, if you're found guilty of doing it. 10 years. So it's some things are changing around here. It's time for people to be more responsible for what they do. And I'm not trying to, you know, scare anybody or anything, but I'm just saying to you guys, because you are the men, we put our time and energy into you all. We should be. We want you all to lead. That's a huge responsibility. But if you don't want to do it, I agree with that too. But you have to also be careful or accountable for what you are doing. That's all I'm saying, because you can't leave it up to these women. You can't leave it up to a woman to make the proper decisions for you. But wait, hold on for a minute, Panderson, before you say that. Guys, if you're coming into the live, I haven't said this in a moment, make sure you're giving me the thumbs up. Let's get these likes up. We need to have these likes up. And thank you for that. But Panderson, go ahead and say what you were saying.
Why is it repeatedly coming to single black men of what they need to do for a black community that never existed or hasn't existed in their lifetime? What they should do, how they should do with women who don't belong to them and a community that never existed?
You know what? I can't answer that question. I'm telling you to be independent in your thought process and do what's best for you and just be accountable for whatever it is. You cannot correct all these things that have gone wrong. I just don't want you to play a part into continuing to make it wrong. I want you to, if you find, you know what I'm saying? I want you to find somebody that you can love and care for and have kids with. And it doesn't have to be someone that's a part of this community. But I'm telling you that there are women out there that do fit the bill. But if you haven't come across one, I want you to be happy. I just don't want you to continue to waste your life and who you are as a person, your seed or whatever, on something that is not productive. And that's what you do. That's what men are doing if we can't find women or women not showing up the way they should show up. And the women, we got to make sure we let them know you've been duped for the last, oh my God, this goes back to the 1990 or 2010, I think, around 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. They've been duped for what now, 20 years into believing that they're your equal and they don't need you. But I'm telling you that we do need you. And I'm showing you, and I can share with you all the time how we do need you. And I can share it with them too. But some of them are coming around. Some of them are crying about this every night because they've made these mistakes and they've given themselves to a whole lot of different men and the men don't want them. That's why you get these divested stories and all this darn trauma. Listen, I'm not putting it on you all. They had sex with you, men I'm talking about. But guess what? Let's be accountable women and say we messed up, and some of them are. But now we got to heal and get back on track because there's a lot of good men out there. And you all are doing different from some of the men that were in my time. Some of the men in my time, we couldn't even get them to check in. There was no checking in. Y'all are checking in. Y'all care. This is a new thing. Big Bad Bull says you talking to grown folks, but most of the sex starts before the legal ages of marriage. So the minds are corrupt for far before adulthood. You're right. That's the part you are leaving out. I didn't leave it out. It was very, very early in the beginning, though. 18 to 25, is what I'm talking about. And that's when these little, I ain't gonna call them sex parties, but that's where, that's when you can indoctrinate somebody because they don't have a thought process. And that's what's happened. So I'm just saying, guys, let's just continue to be leaders. I'm not trying to take anything away from you. I'm telling you, y'all got it.
I got another question.
Yes, sir.
Do you see And I don't pick a sides, like though there's some fake gender war, because a lot of the men are dusting off too. But do you see the women 18 to 25 or even 25 to 95? Do you see them doing the actions to go get husbands? Do you see these actions?
Yes. Yes. You were out of town, I think, but it's been a few.
Not just a few, but I'm talking as a majority. Do you see they are trying to go and be someone's husband? Is that what you see them doing?
Trying to go. I don't see it as a, let me say it like this. I don't see them trying to go or to do anything, but I think that they are saving themselves. They're not participating in some of the actions that have been put up on them that said it's okay to do. I will say it like that.
The majority?
I'm sorry?
I'm talking about the majority, just overall. Is that
I don't know about the majority. You know, I live in the South. I speak to what I see here in the South. I know there's a whole different world going on in the North, and people do different things. They move differently. So I'm not even claiming to know everything, but I'm telling you that there are women who go to feminine classes. I'm telling you that there are women who even write comments to me and ask me, can you help me with how to clean my house? And these are women that I know. I'm thinking, okay. But it was real though. It was honest. So even if I didn't have it together as a single woman and now I'm married, this is something I want to do for myself to become a better wife. Can you help me? Now, what I heard was I need some discipline. I need you to share with me how do you do this and still show up and be yourself. I agree. I'm like, I like this because they're asking questions. They're not sitting down on their husbands. They're saying, I want to be better. Now, I'm telling you guys, we may not always come in the door knowing everything, but guess what, Sway? There's going to be some, well, I've already had some saying, can you help me with how to cook? You know, that means they want to do it. Now, if you with the loud mouths and that's what y'all seeing, because that's what stands out, I get it. Then you're going to hear this message of, I don't need you, I don't want you. But I'm telling you, don't allow that to be your focus. Don't allow it to be your focus, because there's a whole different set of women out there saying, no, we need you. See, look, innocent, sweet, and quiet. I think it's Brittany. Help me clean my house. Hell, I'm never there. Listen, I'm just telling you some of the feedback that I get. There are women out there that are asking these questions. I don't know how they missed it, but guess what? If you grew up in a house where it was never a demand on you to be a woman, to be a wife, to be domestic, then how are you going to know? Does that make you a bad woman? No.
That's a start. I'm not gonna lie to you, boss. I mean, that helps you, your retention of, the man to actually find you attractive enough to be his wife. But I think then there's the next, I don't know, follow-up question on what type of men they're going after, if their standards are realistic. Do they actually understand men and where they line on those standards? Like, because a lot of women also have unrealistic standards. I think, if you're overweight or if you, whatever, you look a certain way, you're a 5, think you deserve a 10, whatever. It's like that, those aren't realistic standards. So I think, the standard side, and then, like you said, improving the retention rate of the men to actually find you attractive enough.
And that's true. All that is true. Your exteriors have to be good, but guess what? You could have someone that starts out as an 8 and after time ends up as a 5. She may need to start cleaning the house a little bit more too, but she may just didn't gather that information along the way, Yeah,
I was saying, like, what you said is valid across the board. Any rate of women should learn this, especially on the lower tone. Boy, you super better learn this. You might even want to overcompensate in other ways. Right. So I think I just want people to live in reality, both men and women. I don't understand why men think women are going to be any different, especially how hypergamous they are. I don't think, if you want a woman of any type of value, looks wise, smarts, domestic skills, you're going to have to bring value yourself. You can't be an average dude.
So let me share this with you. I'm only going to say it one time. I'm going to share something with you, men, and everybody in the chat. A lot of times women are delusional. I'm just going to be honest with y'all. It's the same thing that goes to us being children. It's because our job is not to be leaders. Our job is not to know everything. So when we're thinking something is good and something is okay, it may not be. It's up to someone to tell us the truth about it. And lots of times it may be the men that are leading us. So that's a part of being in a relationship with somebody that cares about you. You know, you can continue to go. Women will let you go through this whole world delusional, and they'll tell you it's all right, girl. They'll say it's okay to jump out your car on highway on 85 and start twerking. It's okay. You just having fun. It's not. That's what women will do. So we need sometimes men and women that are wise and that will be just honest with us and say, listen, guys, this is not right. This is not good. This is not a good example. But I promise you guys, if there's not people there to do that, women are sometimes very delusional. And we think it's, y'all know it. We'll go out with the big bonnets on our head that go all the way down our back and think it's okay. And if you look at us, they'll be like, what the hell are you looking at? You know what I'm looking at. You know I'm looking at the bonnet on your head that's all the way down your back because it's not appropriate for outside. But they knew that when they came outside.
Dearly beloved.
So why do you think they did it? Because nobody around them saying, baby girl, that's not appropriate. I need you to fix it. Now, Danny G says the problem is women don't listen. I'm not going to say the women don't listen. They don't care enough because there's so many people around them that agree with them.
I think they listen to respond. They don't listen to comprehend. They listen for trigger words and they don't even care about what you're actually talking about. You say anything black women, they're like, it don't even matter what you say. You say black women, their first, it's like just don't say anything after that. Just say black women, their facial cringe. You won't even say black women are the best. Black women, you know, are the greatest of all time. If you just say black women and leave a little pause, their face is going to cringe to see what you're about to say.
So
I promise you.
What I'm asking for, because there's a couple things going on. Even the good women out there are in fear. One, because the trust level and the example of men like you all have not been demonstrated in our households.
It is what it is. Can't operate. If they're in fear and they're going to play victim or whatever it is, we can't move forward.
We're not paying fear. We're doing exactly what you all are doing. We're staying away from it. Just like Sway said, I'm not ready for it. You all are saying the same thing.
Oh, same thing. If a man moves,
so we're tackling marriage now?
I'm saying if a man moves in fear.
Yeah, we're talking about marriage now. We're talking about women. We're talking about women who are preparing themselves, but there's still a fear there because we have to submit our total life to you all.
Because they don't want this quote unquote demand to hold them back for some reason. They think
I'm not talking about that woman. I'm talking about the woman that wants. No, listen.
You're saying about the fear.
I'm telling you about the fear. The fear is you're talking to me about marriage, but you also plan a divorce in the same sentence.
Who divorces who?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We're talking about it. We're talking about it. That's y'all talking point. It's not the woman's talking point.
It's not a talking point. It's a fact.
No, it doesn't have to be a fact.
It's not like the Victim Olympics. It's a fact.
It doesn't. You're missing the point. You're doing and telling yourself exactly what the world has said is acceptable. I'm telling you a different way. When you're speaking to a woman about being married to her, we don't have to discuss a divorce in the same sentence. We can talk about being married forever. Now, if a divorce happens, we take that on when we get there. But when you're talking about marriage and you're talking about being divorced in the same sentence, you're coming into the marriage with a single mindset, which says, I'm gonna make sure I always win. And when you're dealing with a woman who is an emotional creature, you always winning. You may not get my total submission until I know that you love me enough to say you and I are one. I'm just telling you the truth.
Who's talking about marriage and divorce in the same sentence?
Yeah. Oh, come on. Y'all do it all the time. You do it all the time. You always say we're fearful to get married because the laws support the woman. And if something happens in the marriage, she could just change her mind and walk away. That's divorce all in the same sentence. That's marriage and divorce in the same sentence.
I've never said that.
I'm not talking about, okay, Panderson.
I thought you were talking about me directly.
No. I thought we made it. Okay, let's say it again.
Oh, my apology.
I'm not talking about you two particular in the same ever. I thought I said that coming in. I'm just giving y'all examples of things that are being said. That's all.
So you said that, I can get married to her and then she can just divorce me for no reason? Or
no,
any
that's
reason?
not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is.
But you're saying the sentence that you used.
That's what I hear a lot on these YouTube platforms is that I'm fearful, men. This is a man talking. I'm fearful of getting married, and they're not using the word fear, but whatever. I don't want to be married because the laws all support the woman, And what if she just wakes up one morning and decides to take my kids? What would I do?
Yes. And hold on. What's wrong with talking about that?
Because for me, I'm a married woman who's been married 26 years. When my husband and I came into our relationship, we had principles that we live by. We had vows that we followed. Our marriage is forever. I submitted totally to my husband. I'm not leaving him. I'm not leaving him. So
and you are the minority.
No, we're not. I mean, okay, I agree with you.
You are the minority, security boss, where you're saying I'm not going to leave him, and you actually mean what you say.
I'm that way though because of our belief system. I'm that way because of what he and I believe, and the way we built our foundation on our marriage. That's why I'm that way. See, what I'm hearing now is the foundation that's being built is one that has marriage coming in. Oops, possible divorce. Okay, it could possibly happen, but we don't plan for it. That's not how your foundation is built. That's not
security boss. I'm giving you on a man's perspective. When you say these plan for it, who's actually planning out of men and women? Who do you think is actually planning for divorce?
Okay, so
hold on, no. Out of men and women, who do you actually? I'm just gonna reiterate what I say. Out of men and women, who do you actually think is planning for divorce?
Okay, so let me answer the question. This is what I think.
Most of their lives.
Okay, let me tell you what I think. I think men are very loyal. I don't think men would ever leave their wives, right? So I think a woman is very faithful and she will leave her husband. But let me tell you the outcome of that. Let me tell you why that is. Because men do what they want, because most of them are men and they're leaders. So they do exactly what they want. They offer provision and some protection for their households, but it doesn't keep them in that household into that marriage. It doesn't keep them one with that woman. It doesn't keep them connected to those children. It does none of that. So the woman will eventually say, you know what? I need you, man. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. And that man, he may change. He may get checked in or he may not, or everything may resolve itself. But eventually what happens is the woman will file for divorce and she will leave him. So I agree with you. I'm totally agreeing on, but I'm talking about a relationship that you want to invest your time in. I'm just not talking about us just hanging out together. I'm talking about a real marriage that is forever.
But with security laws, when have in marriage, when have men ever?
I answered the question.
I get. Oh, you're talking to them. Okay.
Yeah. Not you.
When have men ever not?
Oh,
quote unquote, done what they want? No, I didn't finish my question. When even in a marriage, do you pick the certain type of men for the beginning of a time? It's not any different.
Right.
You pick a certain type of men, the men who can typically attain more than one chick. He's not desperate all the time for a woman. So you respect a man, like you just said, a man is going to do what he wants.
Right.
You don't think that the disconnect is that women have lost the understanding of what a man is and what to expect when dealing with one and what to expect and the expectations of a marriage and what a marriage actually means? A lot of times, like you said, women really just think marriage is all about love. They don't actually understand it is more practical or more than just themselves, their own self-interest. So
I didn't say that.
No, I know you didn't. I'm saying this. I'm saying that that's typically a reason as to why they're divorcing or why they're fearful or why they plan for divorce before they even get into it. I never understood why women were like my girlfriend. She said it before. She's like, marriage is a scary. I'm like, why? And I've heard other women say this, like, why you have nothing to lose, you have everything to gain.
Oh no, that's not true. A broken heart is broke. You don't understand. Women are.
I'm not talking about love. I'm not talking about love. I'm talking about actual like being
material things.
Not even just being a responsible human being. You not spending all your money. You not hoeing in the streets. You actually having something bigger than yourself to build for, like a family, a community, a legacy, something else outside of yourself. So I'm saying like I was never understood like. Even if you were to get divorced, it's not like you're getting screwed on the back end, other than maybe you know, I guess the fear if she's too old and then another man doesn't want her. But my question is just, why do you get divorced? And then typically, if most women are divorcing their husband because they think the grass is greener on the other side, so this is our frustration. I'm trying to explain how we feel all in a blast of stuff, but this is why we're frustrated when a lot of times you say, not you in tip particularly, but just like when you say you're fearful or why it's fearful.
So let me share with you why. Because when I came, like I said, when I came into our marriage, my husband he and I built a foundation, and we had an agreement on that foundation. So the expectation for me was for my husband to actually lead with that foundation. And that's what we plug ourselves into. That's what the covenant is about. Now, if you just come into a relationship with agreements, then, you know, I maybe shouldn't have any expectations of a man. But guess what? My husband has said, and will always say, that I'm an asset to him. We work together. So that individuality that you just mentioned, as far as the woman having nothing to lose, is not a real thing. If you have a marriage that is connected, then you have two people who are connected. There's no his and hers. We're connected.
Well, I didn't necessarily say that. I mean, I guess I did say they have nothing to lose, but typically it's not to the level, like it's nowhere close to the level of a man. Because like
That's
it's the same level of hurt, the same level of emotion. A man can feel the same, but he has a whole bunch of other things taxed onto it that are materialistic that actually hurt his bottom line. It's not just how he feels about it. Okay.
So let me share with you something. You just talked about marriage and divorce in the same sentence.
Yeah, I did.
What I'm telling you,
that's what we're talking about. No,
I'm saying if you have that type of mindset, you're not wanting or ready to be married, because when my husband and I entered into our relationship, we both didn't have much of anything. We grew together, and everything that he has, I have too. And everything I have, he has. There was a time in our marriage, I said real estate too. I don't know if y'all know this. I'm just giving some life stories where I make over $100,000 for years, and my husband's business wasn't producing that. I brought that money home and said, here you go, husband. Do and invest the way you want to. And that's a real marriage. There was never any individuality. 26 years later, if my husband goes and I have to go another direction, matter of fact, we don't get nothing. He takes care of me for the rest of my life, because that's what marriage is about. There's no planning for the great escape, because you put everything you got into it, that you make sure that it doesn't fall apart. But just so happen, if it falls apart, you figure out what you have to do, because, you know, nothing in life is perfect, I'm saying. But I think our intentions should be more on it, the goal being the marriage working versus, okay, so if I leave, she's going to really make out big time. We're assets. We should be. And if we're not, then maybe we pick wrong. But you want to make sure you don't pick wrong, because she needs to be an asset, not someone that would take from you anything. See, that's what I'm talking about, not knowing the actual value of who you are. If you treat a woman good and you make her feel like, you know, you want her and you're there for her, she will give you the world. I promise you she would. And I think that's what men actually miss. And I'm not talking about these women that are just out there talking loud and that's been indoctrinated by the feminism. I'm not talking about them. Y'all can recognize them because they're very loud. We're not talking about them. We're talking about women that foremost want to be married, but don't know everything. They don't know everything. They want to be led. And I'm not saying that you all know everything either as men, but guess what? You learn as you go along. And again, if a man is 45 years old and he's a millionaire and he's taking on a wife, that's a totally different situation. I don't even think I would be involved in that. So listen, we got a Moneyline song. It's Innocent, Sweet, and Quiet, Britta. So $10 super chat, and it says here, Sway talking to laugh out loud. It's time to dance, and we have too many assumptions. If you like her, talk and ask questions. People don't trust themselves or each other anymore. Now let's dance. I like that. Sway, come on now. There you go. Is that all you got? You know what? Y'all young folks are too serious. Yeah. So that's all I'm saying. I know that the okay, I hear what you're saying, but I'm living something that I can tell you is good. I don't know everything and I haven't experienced everything. My husband and I wanted the same thing. and we are practicing that and making that better every day. And that's what I'm telling you. That's what it takes. And if you can find a woman that you can convey that message to, and it seems like you have, then you've found a good thing. So you've done it. You put in the work. Now you have to watch it grow. But like you just said, you made a comment about a woman leaving a man thinking the grass is green on the other side. That's immaturity. That's craziness. Excuse me, because it's not. That's just another person that you got to learn all over and figure out what they're going to do wrong or what kind of quirks they have or hang-ups that they have. I'm not recommending that. But the point I'm making is that there are some good women out there. And I see that you all are good men and y'all putting in the work. So we just got to get together. I want y'all to give women some grace so you can identify the ones who may need some tweaking, and hear what they're saying. Sometimes we may sound really dumb.
No,
but no,
grace given.
Huh?
Believe it or not, there's plenty of grace given. And
well, that's all I'm asking. I'm not saying you don't have any. I'm just saying continue with that. And I think the situation may resolve itself because I'm hearing women now saying, I messed up. So
I don't.
What men are mainly asking for now. A lot of my friends are single. A lot of us had some of these conversations. What men are asking for is a woman who is willing, and a woman who's willing to listen. That's like 50, 60%, or can show some form of I'll be loyal. Aside from the weight and the femininity. Men aren't checking for women who act like men. They don't want that.
Right.
They don't want women who are bigger than men. But out of those women, it's like, are you willing to cooperate? Can we work together and actually do something? Can they check that box? We can work together and do something.
Right.
Regardless of almost even where they are, there's a lot of grace given. We understand there was trauma and drama here. When you were 22, this happened. This dude drug you out to Arizona and this happened. Okay, whatever. What can we do now so we can get somewhere tomorrow?
Well, listen, all I want them to do is be accountable for what happened and what part they played in it, because bad things do happen. That's all.
Don't want to hear the victim talk anymore.
No, I don't either.
Have been revoked.
I don't either. And you know what? It should have never. I don't know how you talk to women or whatever, but we should have always brought them back to the beginning. What part did you play? Did you sleep with them? And if they say yes, you're like, look, you never know what you're going to get. You might have should have preserved yourself. And that should have been the end of that conversation. So I agree with you with that, but I'm just telling you, continue with the grace, be open-minded. But when you get to the marriage, let's don't discuss divorce within the same sentence. Let's make the marriage work and be, 100% towards that. Again, that's not a guarantee, but if we're into it, it really might work.
Yeah, not all men are built for marriage either. Let's be real.
That's kind of how I started. But Sway isn't agree with that, but he said that's why they don't bother with it. So I think we can probably agree on that. But I want you all to be in the roles that you're here for. So let me do this money line song. And we got somebody we're going to bring up in just a moment. But Ace Senior, thank you for being here. He said Laos includes the way she dresses, aesthetics, and etc. I agree with you. Men want natural women. Y'all don't want no woman with hips all out, right? That ain't the best thing, right?
We want it to be proportional. The butt should not be high up where your hips are, and then you see the bottom. It looks weird, like it's not like a cup to it. You know what I mean? You can tell you didn't get a good one, or you never had a booty in the first place.
Oh, you mean like, okay, I got you. I got you.
It runs high. It doesn't really run low where it's like a bubble or to get too much.
Yeah, capital P. But no surgeons.
Okay,
especially with your thighs, man. Jesus.
Who is that? Okay, so listen.
Hey, Sway, let's be.
Who is this? Oh, Ace, I'm sorry, we didn't give you the money line song. You got it.
I'ma run it every time. Give me mine. Going up, need no decline.
Yeah. Big Bad Bull, I'm gonna give you an invitation for the show. I know you be everywhere, but you know what? You're gonna make a guest appearance on Security Boss Unsolicited show one day. I hope you're down for it. Oh, Brittany B said thick thighs save lives. I agree with you, Brittany.
Thighs are honestly more important than a butt a lot of the times. Like I get it, you want a butt, but if you got some thick old thighs and always have a bubble, but it's wide and it's it look good when you bend over. You don't always have to look good just when you're standing up. So I'm saying like having thighs, honestly, in my opinion, especially if you want to a husband of value of any type, you know, character wise, that thighs will go a long way. Just don't be fat, I guess. You can have thighs, but just don't be overweight.
Skinnier the better.
We don't want them obese. I get that.
Skinny
So
and
listen, is this okay? So we got somebody that needs to cam up. I can't see your name right now, but if you go through Chrome, we can actually see who you are and go ahead and bring you up into the stream. I'm sorry about that. Just go through Chrome when you enter into the live. If you go through Chrome, we can actually see who you are and then bring you up. And yeah, proportion. Yes, sir.
I didn't know if you had any more super chats, but there was the Grace. I forgot my second point, but my first point was going to be about my girl. I'm young. I'm 23, so it's not like I'm dating an older chick. So these younger chicks, they're always going to be a little bit delusional, and you're always going to have to kind of train them out of it. And you know, like Pandas has said, if they listen and comprehend, they don't like. You can see that you can work with them. Then you know, that's kind of what I did. Like my situation is that she grew up here, but she was also indoctrinated in like the Hispanic traditional household. She moved here when she was 10. She's from El Salvador, and so like. Their parents are strict, you know, the weight thing, even me talking about, you know, when you get pregnant or whatever, like weight is important to me. You can't be way more than me. That wasn't the first time she heard it from me. Her parents have told her this before, both her mom and her dad, like, you can't be fat. So it's like, it's not new to her when I say these things, and she can understand where I'm coming from, and she didn't like fight me on, or like if I ask her, I want you to be able to cook, or the priorities of whose job or career in the long run, and you know, these uncomfortable conversations, like where is your head at, and understanding how I want my household to be run in the long run. How, if we do marry you, my expectations, because I knew her beforehand. It's not like I just met her. I knew her like 3 years ago. I worked with her at a time. She was cool people, and so you know. She was actually overweight then. I think she was about 30 pounds more. And then I saw her lose weight. And I was like, damn, that was really the only thing holding me back from ever even wanting to talk to her was her weight. Like she weighed more than me. So I was like, nah, I can't do that. I'm a skinny dude. I don't want to, you know, the typical, you know, skinny black dude with a big chick. So I'm like, nah. So she lost weight after, you know, the whole time went by. And so we started talking, and it got to where we are now. So you're right about that. So what you're saying, this is what I say often. If you're not going to find a woman that's 100% on it, but if you can find one that is willing, you need to work with it, because we don't know everything, guys. I know some of us come off all confident, like we got it going on and all of that, but we don't. we know it. So I'm talking to you for them. We don't know everything, and y'all need to hear me. This is me talking, been doing it for a long time. This is me and my husband getting to know each other. All of that, you know, finding out what makes him tick, him finding out what makes me tick, how you have to mesh it together, how you have to have compassion for what the other person, their upbringing. You remember you just said that the upbringings and all that different stuff comes into play when you're talking about being married to a person. And one thing I always want to say to every young couple is be intentional about having kids. You know, get that foundation intact. Don't come in the door with a baby. Wait about 5 years, you know, to make sure y'all strong. Because kids can add a lot of tension to a relationship. I would say it like that. A whole lot. I made sure that we're on the same page on when and what time frame. Like, it ain't no time soon. I don't want to, if you get a scare and we're not willing to do anything. No, there's a time frame that she's like, yeah, I don't want to have that shit right now. That maybe at a certain age. So I'm like,
plan for it. Don't allow oops to happen. Plan for it. Plan your life. If you can plan your life, then you will have an outstanding situation. This is what I think. Now, life is still gonna throw you things, but you will have somebody there as a partner that you know got your back. And like I say, I think it's joking. I hope this never happens. I'm like, babe, me and you'll be homeless together. You know. So this is how it goes. This oh, where did it go? I just had a comment I wanted to go over and I forgot.
I make her take random pregnancy tests too, just if I'm feeling some type of way. Like, we do take precautions, but like if somewhere in my gut I'm like, she's like, well, I'm not pregnant. I'm like, I don't really care. Like, I believe you, but just for my sense, like, just to know, just take it. She's like, because this has happened multiple. At first she was fighting me. I was like, I'm not. I know I'm the now. It's just like, all right, like she already knows how I feel. Like, I don't care. I stopped trying to explain myself why. I just want you to take it.
Well, you know, it seems like you're giving her the bigger picture. She's trusting you now. She's trusting you. She's submitting to you. you giving her the bigger picture. And when you can give a woman the bigger picture and she can totally submit to it, then you're not gonna have those problems. She's gonna do exactly what you ask her to do. See, you already did that. So CT Reacts, how are you, sir?
Just in time.
Hey, are you
I
chaotic?
found you just in
Hey,
time.
CT, you're chaotic?
Huh?
You're chaotic, right?
I'm CT Reacts. No, I'm chaotic. What's up?
Oh, okay. Just making sure it was you.
Yeah. What's up, security boss? How you doing? I love your commercial. I just saw it for the first time the other day.
Well,
I have
thank you.
to say a few things. I just happened to get your notification, so I only heard the last few minutes.
Oh,
But I'm pretty sure I can catch up on the topic. It is a travesty in the community when
There is no
critical
community.
thinking and analysis is perceived as trolling. And I've had to deal with this pretty much all my life as an African American who is of higher thinking. So, for example, when I say things like Black women should be conservative, and maybe if you're conservative, you can that will attract a certain type of man. It's not white people, it's not Asian people, it's only people in my community that are saying that I'm trolling. But here goes the thing. When I bring evidence such as my parents, for example, or my friends' parents who are conservative and they've been married for decades, when I bring up the notion that I've never seen my mom walking around the house in lingerie, I've never seen my mom twerking, and maybe that is one of the reasons why so many households are broken, because the mom wants to be the daughter's friend and post the daughter on Instagram and all this nonsense. People think that I'm twerking. And people get upset.
trolling. They think that you're trolling.
They think that I'm trolling.
Yes.
And this is one of the reasons why I'm really considering divesting from the Black community. And I'm seriously considering, and I tell a lot of Black women too, that, and same thing with a lot of Black men, it is a time, there needs to be a great exodus from ignorance. And ignorance permeates throughout the Black culture. And it does. And we can pretend that I'm not saying that you're pretending that it doesn't, but we can pretend that it doesn't. But the fact of the matter is that we are going into a new age. And this age is of science. This age is of technology. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that we cannot bring the ignorant past with us. Same thing with any other group of people. They can't listen, going into the industrial age, I'm pretty sure people who were living in the agricultural age either died off or just fell behind. Okay. The same thing with the computer age. You ever notice like an 80-year-old doesn't know how to work a computer the way that a 25-year-old does? Because an 80-year-old that person was born before the computer age. So here goes the thing. If you look at other cultures, such as the Jewish culture, and particularly in America, the women are very conservative. I live in a Jewish neighborhood. Well, it's mixed, but it's a lot of Jews there. Beautiful people. They're quiet. The women, when they're outside, they walk in groups of 5 to 10. They walk with their children, and they're wearing dresses to their ankles, and they're peaceful and pleasant. Okay. And they have husbands too, by the way. When you look at the Asian community in America, the ones that I've seen, same thing. They're conservative and they're dressed real nice. But then when you look at the Black community, especially with Black women, they're twerking in public, they're loud in public, they're disrespecting their man in public. And so, yes, most men will have sex with these types of women. Of course, a man is a man, but no man is going to marry that woman. And until the Black man sets a standard for himself in terms of himself and his woman, we will not be a great race, and we won't be. Now, I know there's probably some people in your chat that are listening that are like, chaotic, or I can't stand that guy. But you have to look at it like this. Why is there rampant single motherhood in the Black community? Why is there so much violence in the Black community? You have to really look at these things. But me being the conservative platform content creator that I am, I wish to solve these things because I was a public school teacher in the inner city. I was a probation officer in the inner city for the courts, and I've been in the inner city and I've worked, and not just an inner city thing. This symptom permeates in the Caribbean, and it even is permeating in Africa now. And people say, well, white people do this, white people do that. Well, last time I checked, my skin isn't white. I don't care what they do. I care about the progression and the continued posterity of my people. And if everybody wants to make videos about me and what happened last night, fine. That is.
Oh, wait a minute, hold on.
Go ahead.
Let's not talk about something I know nothing about.
Oh, you don't know anything about what happened last night?
No, I don't. But listen, wait a minute, chaotic. Let's get. Let me say this.
Go ahead.
We're going to talk about that later on Anton's smoke.
Okay, hold on. Listen,
it has to be one at a time, guys. Let's run this panel like a white.
Chaotic. If you want to get this energy out,
listen. Wait a minute. Oh my God, I don't chaotic. What is going on? But listen, let me say this. I know nothing about what happened last night, so we're not going to talk about that. But what we are going to
apply it to the conversation right now, though.
See, that's what I wanted to get you to. And another thing I want to remind you of, because it might be a couple things that you can leave out. Over here, the white man is not our problem, so you don't really need to deal with that either. Absolutely. Okay, but we are talking about going back to your initial statement of divesting from our culture or from the community, which Dr. Panderson says we have none. And I understand all of that. But guess what? I think I was purposely sent here to I think my life actually reflects what I'm supposed to be doing. Yeah. So that's why I do what I do. Yeah. And that is to go back and tell young men and women that it is good. We do. Not all of us are the same. It is reflected in the title of the show. That does not represent us all. And Absolutely. You are a Black man, and you're actually right now stating your differences from some of the ones that we don't associate with or can't say that they're the face of the community. That really hurts my feelings when the face of the community is negativity, because there are men like yourself, Sway, and Dr. Panderson that don't represent that. So from there, I want you to continue.
Okay. Security boss, I saw your commercial. I listened to the way you speak. I look at the way you dress, and I can tell that you grew up in a conservative household, a Christian household, and you are refined, and you have aspects of elegance that is unfortunately lacking from what I see in the community. Yeah. Black women should look at you as an example of how to be a woman. I've never heard you use vulgarity. I've never heard you talking like this. And that's a beautiful thing. Now, Dr. Panderson, I will agree. He makes good points. I don't agree with his HBCU statements, but other than that, the man is a brilliant man. But I do believe we do have a community. I do believe that. Now, I'm not disagreeing with Dr. Panderson. I have a different point of view. I think we do have a community. I think we have a certain language system. I think we have a certain religious system. I think we have a certain behavior system in the Black culture in America. Dr. Panderson, hear me out. So the fact is that what we have a problem here with relationships is that Black women particularly want to be Black men. They want to be masculine. And if you look at every culture on the planet, the woman is a partner to the man. There is no female leadership in Germany. There's no female leadership in Russia. There's no female leadership in Japan and in China. The man is the leader. And until Black women figure that out, our community is going to be in absolute disarray. Yep. And that's one of the reasons why, security boss, I quit teaching. Because, for example, I would try when I was teaching, I would try to kick knowledge to the boys or to the boy students. The mothers, single mothers, would come to the school, they were yapping at me, and I would tell them, you need to shut your mouth. I don't know. And I used to tell them like this, you need to shut up. Because if you had everything together, you would not be a single mother. Your son wouldn't be at this public school. You would have had enough money to send him to a private school. He wouldn't have behavior problems because he would have a father in the home. And see, this is what we need to start doing as a community. We need to start speaking to each other just like that. All this sugar-coated language, forget that.
So, Mr. Chaotic, let me add to what you're saying.
Sorry, I'm blacking out, security boss. Sorry, go ahead.
Out? What does blacking out mean? What do you mean?
Blacking out means taking over the panel. But I don't mean to do it. Sorry.
Okay, let me add something to what you're saying, because a lot of what you're saying is very true. But we have to start somewhere. And again, you didn't hear me because you hadn't been here long. You are exactly right. The feminist movement has definitely done a work on our women, and a lot of them now are saying that they were wrong and they got the wrong message. They heard it wrong. And now they're learning and trying to take feminine classes, and they're advocating for men. We're trying to do it right. It's going to take some time, but if we can't put this nuclear family back together, our community is gone anyway.
Agreed.
But Somebody has to speak that into existence. We have to give an example of that, and not enough examples are out there, especially in these spaces that we're in on YouTube. Yeah. So I'm just challenging you to have a space also where you speak the positivity about it and try to share with the women what to do instead of not saying what we know that they're doing. Try to reverse it, because it's enough of what they're not doing.
But Security Boss, I do it on my channel all the time.
Okay.
I do it all the time.
I don't know.
When young women especially call in, they tell me certain things, and I tell them, you should be quiet. You should cook and clean. You should cater to your man. You should not have children outside of wedlock. Those are very positive and uplifting things to say. Now, I may not say it with butterflies and a green pasture behind me, no, but I say the things that make the Jewish community better than most communities. I say the things that make the Asian community better than most communities. These communities are better than other communities. Is there a reason why Eastern Europe is not as better as Western Europe? Because all you have to do is look at the families. All you have to do is look at the economy. Just look at the landscape. There's reasons why some groups of people are better and some groups of people are not. The fact of the matter is, the Black family in the 40s, 50s, and 60s was better than any Black family now. Because
I agree.
Black
people. Let me say this, chaotic. Let me say this to you, because it's something that you can hear.
What kind of camera do you have, by the way? Sorry, that's a nice camera.
You have to talk to Mr. Boss about that.
I got you.
Listen, if you didn't know, my husband is here all the time with me, so that's another story. You got to visit over here more often to understand this.
Does he ever cam up?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
Because he's my protector. Yep. He's my provider, and not everybody needs to know what he looks like. Just
exactly.
In case.
That's what I'm talking about.
Wait a minute. We don't want to get off. But let me tell you this.
Go ahead.
Seeing that Black women don't necessarily trust all Black men, there may be a way that you can speak more positivity into them so they can definitely hear you, because the message is the same. I'm gonna give you an example. I got this from Bolo, and he in turn got it from Tommy Sotomayor. There was a man on a train, and he, first time on a train, he had his head out the window and was just gawking at all the fabulous things on the train as the train went by. But then a bridge overhang came, and this white man told him, he said, get your head in the window. He said it with an N-word though. Get your head in the window. You understand what I'm saying?
Who said that?
A white man.
To who?
The Black man that had his head out the window.
I don't believe it.
Oh, he did.
Listen,
I know, of course. No, this is a story that we've heard. I'm just giving you the story. So even if it's made up, he said, Negro, get your head in the window. Instead of the Negro hold on, don't cut me off.
I'm sorry.
Because this is going to your point.
The way you checked me was very polite and feminine, and it was like, okay, see, I like that.
But anyway, listen, he told him to get his head in the window, and he did not. So his head was, cut off. Just it may not be a real story, but it goes to what you're saying. Your message may be coming off a little harsh, but in turn, it's giving the correct message. But maybe people are not receiving it because they're not in the right place. So what is the correct way to do it?
Can I say something real quick?
Of course, you got it now.
The problem is that the Black community, and I know Dr. Patterson, he doesn't agree with me, because every time I say community, you can see what happens. The problem is that the Black community has become so feminized that even men, they don't like being talked to a certain way. I've had men tell me, you just come off too harsh. I'm like, dude, you're a man. In the 90s, when I was a kid, Security Boss, when I was a young child, a teenager, we called it ranking in the Midwest. I don't know what you guys call it where you guys are from in the country, but we called it ranking. It was nothing like coming to school and let's say you were late to class.
I am in the country. That's funny. I am in the country. I love the country.
So they call it like playing the dozens down where you're from. It was nothing like coming into class late and let's say you had on some Shacks and your friend said, "Oh, your shoes corny, man." It was nothing like those encouraging words. And it was nothing like hearing those insults every day. And what it did is it gave us the opportunity to create it encouraged us to get over being shy. Some people don't like being late places because they feel like, oh, if I'm late, everybody's gonna look at me. Some people don't like public speaking, but you go into a room of 30 people and they've all been talking shit about you, and you come in there and they start ranking you, and you say no, and then you start ranking them back. That's great. Everybody wants to be coddled now. You can't talk about people now. They call it bullying now.
Chaotic. You're exactly right. But what do you want to do? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to bring people into you and embrace change?
No.
Or are you trying to turn people off? It all matters.
I am trying to correct an ill in the Black community, and that ill is embracing this soft, liberal, woke agenda. This, oh, I don't like those words. I need my safe space. We didn't have those things back in the day.
Well, guess what? I'm
And
not
we were
saying
much harder back in the day. And
but that doesn't mean that we did it right. There was a lot of there were some deletions that went on. There was a lot of trauma. There's a lot of mental illness. You know that. Well, I'm before you actually. So if you didn't know, I'm from the Chuck Taylor day. So it was still Jeeper Creeper. So, I know about these things too, but it all depends on what you're trying to do. If you're trying to embrace people and do change through love, then you will change your speech. If you're just trying to irritate people and make them think, then you'll continue to do what you do. It's all gonna come out in the wash.
I'll be over there, Black Man Unfiltered. I got your email, sir. Thank you, security boss.
So that's how it goes. But listen, I really appreciate you being here. But let me get some thoughts from these other guys. If you have a minute, you're welcome to stay. But
I'm gonna go on mute.
Okay, so hey, Black man, how are you?
Hey, my bad. Hey, security boss, how are you today, Shook?
I'm doing good. Right before I go to you, I want to find out if Sway and Dr. Panderson had anything to add to Chaotic's.
Actually, let me reply. Then I'm gonna slide out and go hit the weight room.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try to make it as quick and simple as possible.
Gotcha.
Here the deal is: if there's a Black community and they're all together and got these religions and everything is so cool, then what are you talking about? There's a community. What are we talking about these complaints for? They're all working together, aren't they? They're holding hands, they're getting married, you say there's a Black community. Oh, they own the homes there too. They also are circulating their money within Black people and bliggity Black and more Black and Black. That's what's going on, right? Huh?
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Chaotic?
Chaotic. That's what's going on. So I don't understand what you're getting this feedback from, because all the Black people are happy when you come over there. Hey, a Black man, come eat a piece of chicken. The Black community is gone. It's done. Put a fork in it. They've made their decision that this is how they're gonna operate. Get a few people out of there who want to do something different. That's cool. You can build a small network. I identify as an individual. This that they're doing, for example, the panel from yesterday represented who Black people are.
Okay, so y'all making me feel like I missed something. I've missed something. Okay, tell me, Panderson, what I need to do.
You did miss something. I would watch the last 3 hours of the Thursday night show.
You need a bulletproof vest before you cut it on. It was bad.
It was about a 6 hours. It was about a 6 hour show, but it didn't really get good, I think.
And thank you to the Black women who are still doing something great. Thank you to the Black men who are still doing
so listen, I was in and out up until my commercial, and then after that I left. So I didn't see all the trauma, I guess. I'm gonna have to go check it out because y'all really, I don't know. But can it be fixed? Whatever happened last night.
If the people are arrested or beaten, it's out of control. It's that bad. It's done. Give it up.
On what side, but Mr. Panderson? Because I watched the whole thing too. On what side? Like
it was so bad that when I even wanted to talk before 4 seconds.
Yeah, I know they got you. Oh yeah, they ate you up. They ate you up. I
didn't get 4 words out.
And they literally before he started talking real estate, just let him talk. Don't say nothing. Man said 4
words. Them women ate him up. They ate him up so bad. Oh my God.
These are people who have jobs and go home to a home that actually has food in the refrigerator. What do you think the rest of it looks like? How much more blood do you need to see? How much proof do you need? It's done.
I don't know what to say, guys. I did not see it.
But do something and marry and tell them to get out of there, or they're gonna die of nervous breakdowns.
So let me tell you what I am going to do. I was not there, but I do know that women can be very strong. So I'm going to apologize to all you men right now. Whatever went on. I don't know. I'm going to go back and look at it, but I'm apologizing. And I'm going to tell you, even though sometimes it's just not fair, we do still appreciate you. And we just don't keep it moving. I don't know.
I just came up there to crack a few jokes be silly, let some people laugh, as well as express one little point about this fake black community that's done. That was it. 4 seconds.
Security boss.
It was bad.
Security boss, in my personal opinion.
When you go see it, you're going to be disgusted. And what you saw those women do to him last night, that was bad.
Nah, he wasn't innocent, but
your behavior was unacceptable, and so was some of these other people.
I agree.
Oh my God.
Multiple people, but you are one of them. You're guilty.
I agree.
Oh, so KO, you had to do it. I'm listening to Sway. Sway, go ahead and tell me. Give me the rundown.
You want the rundown of the show, or you want?
You tell me. I haven't watched it. I apologize to you men because for the women. Should I have done that?
What's up, Sway?
No, hold
I
on.
think you should watch the show, but I don't think you would have acted like anybody on the panel at all. Maybe JR, you would have just been quiet. You know what I mean?
Security boss. Yeah.
Yes,
ask him about the thing that caused the uproar. Is when he did the whole thing about what women's hands were made for.
Hey, hold on. Do you think she should watch it blind, or do you think you should?
Oh, wait a minute, y'all. Let me say this.
Watch it blind.
I seen it up to the point where he said something about the sandwich.
Yeah.
No, he said women's hand. God made women's hands small enough to what, chaotic?
To wrap around of mops. Security bosses heard me say that.
No, I don't think I've ever heard you say that before. Well, what would you?
We were on Sir Hell Speaks. We were on Sir Hell Speaks, and I said it, and you said,
"Oh, I didn't hear that, bro."
Yeah, it was long.
I said, "What? What did I say?"
You asked if I was trolling, and everybody was like, "No, he's not trolling." It was like
you is trolling, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. Man,
that's
not a. You can't say that is a legitimate fact. That's
but he's trying to.
I swear, I'm not trolling. That's what y'all don't understand. I really mean these things. A woman is supposed to be domestic. There's nothing wrong with that.
But the joke or the way you went about saying women should be domestic, you didn't have to say that God made their hands small enough to hold a mop.
Around the mob.
Okay, well, how come God didn't make women to build skyscrapers? I mean, seriously,
we're not gonna turn this into a chaotic show. Chaotic. Chaotic. You know, you could have found something. You wanted to offend a little bit because that's why you're chaotic. You named yourself exactly what you want to be. And it's, you know what, we understand that now. And I think most people understand. But black man, you wanted to say something. I'm gonna listen to you. Go ahead, sir.
Good evening, good people. Dr. Patterson, how are you?
Good evening, good people. We're doing well, sir.
Good evening, Mel. Good evening, Chaotic, the Chaotic, sir. Good evening, Sway. How are you doing today, sir? Hey, listen, I'll just sit back watching and listening. Being one of the people that work in the community, especially with my church and things of that nature, or being around people, period, I see, no, I'm not going to use that. The other night, guys, if you want to go back and watch my show, Chaotic came through and tore that show up too. The other night, oh yes, man, those women were hot and ready to burn him alive. But the other night I had a show, and the show, it was entitled, if you want to go back and watch our Black Man Unfiltered Network, was discussing the black woman with black women.
Right.
And we had a lady on there named Miss Rosa.
Mm-hmm.
And Miss Rosa has dedicated her entire, Dr. Patterson, she's dedicated her entire life to the production and to the encouragement and the uplifting of black women. And she says for 30 years straight, she's seen all different shapes, sizes, skin colors, bright, yellow, whatever you think about, attitudes, non-attitudes. She said, I'm about to quit. I'm done. I can no longer dedicate my life to them. They don't want to do better. She said, I've had women that I've got out of situations of, they've had a baby, got them out the situation, put them in new housing, got them away from the guy. 6 months later, she's pregnant about the guy again, the guy that moved into the house that he ain't supposed to know she's living in. You know, she said, you know, they like it, they want it. And she said, a lot of people, or those women like to be victims. And she said, because it gets them more attention. And I'm listening to her say it, and I had to stop her. I said, Ms. Rosa, stop. And I put the camera on myself and said, guys, listen, I did not pay her to say this.
You did say that. I remember.
I did not pay her to say any of this. She said she's done. She's quitting. She's going to take a vacation. She can no longer deal with these black women. She can't do it no more. Okay,
so listen, I got something for you all. And y'all know I like solutions. And we already know that I've said this many times. Our women sometimes are out of order. And quite foul sometimes. I get it myself, and I'm agreeing with you all. But I want to know, what can we do? Now, I've already told you to ignore them.
I'll respond.
Because guess what? It's only a red flag that they're giving you. They're saying, not me. I'm not the one. Ignore me. Don't pay me any attention. But they still keep getting all our attention. And I know why. I say it again, Black man.
Yeah, they're dumb. What's happening is those women are dominating. Like the lady I sent you today, because I like to keep my auntie informed about things that's going on. The video I sent you today, that lady
they're dominating.
They're dominating the airwaves.
Okay, you know she was on another show before. Remember a while back without the mask thing on.
Right,
but okay, so I know that they're dominating, and I know exactly what you're saying. But I don't want to come off like I'm tired of it. But I'm tired of it.
Yeah,
I'm in the same place you all are. Because they don't represent me. And there's so many women in this chat right now. I would dare to say every woman in this chat right now in this live, those women don't represent. So, okay, listen, ladies, I'm challenging you all. When I have another live, I need you all to cam up. I don't know what I need to do, but I need you all to cam up and show your faces because you don't believe in this. You do want husbands. You are trying to be effeminate women, but guess what? You're not represented. And you know you're not. So I'm kind of out here by myself. There's Blooming Ebony, there's Clara Blossom, there's Brittany B, there's Taya, Miss Creative. I need to know, y'all need to speak to this. Not really. You need to speak to how it's supposed to be, is what I prefer.
You know what?
Hold on. Chaotic. I'm gonna need you to, even though you have something that you need to say, I need you to try to be most respectful so everyone can hear what you're saying. Because when you say things and it's too abrasive and it could be all the way true. I'm agreeing with you all the way. You're not calling out nobody's name. I ain't never heard you use a B word. I've never heard you say it. And listen, and you're not talking about me. And I don't even get offended by what you're saying. But if there are women who have not yet reached the point of maturity, they haven't gotten to the point of the level that says, okay, he may have some truth to him. Then you have to deal with people where they are. This is me telling you this. Of course, you don't have to do it. You can do whatever you want. I'm just telling you that if you have a message and you want to embrace people to change, you have to be able to speak to them for that change. You can't be all over the head and in space and coming at them all quick and fast and be all objective and chaotic, because we're trying to get out of chaos right now.
Security boss. The other night, you know what shocked me the other night? What shocked me the other night, we were on that platform. Chaotic said everything he just said about the mop, about your hands being small enough to be for that. He went through the whole spiel. He just went through here and last night on Lapeef. And you look over at the comments and the ladies are saying, yes, I agree. Yes, Chaotic is on point. Yes, Brittany B was on the platform and she said, yes, what's wrong with a woman being able to work a mop or clean up in her house? What's wrong with that? The women
I didn't disagree with him. I agree with what he's saying, but listen, he has to say his message. He has to know his audience. I'm not disagreeing with you, Chaotic, because Sway says some women don't know how to cook. Some women will get offended by that. So that could be almost the equivalent of small hands, because everybody knows that not all women have small hands. So let's not pretend. So Chaotic, I'm just giving that suggestion. I'm just telling you that you are very logical. Some things you say make a lot of sense. You've lived some life. You're an educated person. You're very articulate. So use it for the good everywhere. Everywhere.
Hey, I gotta go. Gym time.
All right.
Thank you for
we'll see you soon. We'll see you. So before you say anything, Chaotic, Mel, how you doing, Mel?
How you doing? And Chaotic defense and everything. And I don't fault him for speaking how he speaks and everything, because I say this all the time. Sometimes it's not who says it or how it's said. It's the fact that it was said. And I see what happened the other day when Chaotic was saying some truth on what was Black Network, and I'm sorry, my girl Harmony Pill, she took offense to that a little bit. Feel like he should be a little bit softer, but Brittany didn't take offense at it at all. Period. And everything. So it depends on the person. He could probably say it nicely, and someone probably would still attack him because he's saying the truth. Period.
Let me tell you something, and I know y'all probably were here. Most of y'all probably were there that day when people get offended by what I say. And I'm never trying to be offensive. And guess what? But guess what? M. Mills helped me out. She said sometimes, security boss, it may come off a little condescending. I'm trying to embrace people and bring them to where I'm at, to let them know it's okay. So I got to change up a little bit the way I say things, because that's more important for people to hear me than to walk away from me.
Well, I think
But boss, like I said, you can say however you want it. Try to smooth it down, put some sugar on top, everything with some flowers, and people, when they know what the truth is, they still wouldn't like it. Period. You could be soft voiced with it and everything. It doesn't matter. It mostly depends on what type of person they gravitate toward you. It might will be depend on your words, or it might be your looks, or whatsoever. Like let me give a perfect example. Like Derrick Jackson and everything. He says a lot of false truths like crazy. People gravitate towards that like crazy. But let someone less attracted to him say the same thing. They ain't gonna really gravitate towards him like that.
Melissa, I agree. So listen,
there's different reasons how the mind will be drawn to somebody and stuff like that.
Look at
Mr. Scotland says this: the manosphere was built for men. Every time women come around men, they always want us, I think, to adjust.
Thank you.
And I agree with that.
Thank you.
So the question was asked, Chaotic, what are you trying to do? And it's not, I asked you that initially. What are you trying to do? I asked you that. You have to ask yourself, what are you trying to do?
Security Boss, can I answer your question? And
Sure.
I think I've answered this before. By God's own ordination, I'm divine.
Okay.
I believe that I am the second coming of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, of Louis Farrakhan, etc.
Okay.
I want to correct and fix the Black community. And I see major ills in the community that need to be addressed. Just like Elijah Muhammad did, just like Louis Farrakhan is doing, just like Marcus Garvey, just like Thomas Sankara in Burkina Faso, just like Jerry Rollins in Ghana, just like Patrice Lumumba did in Congo. We need to fix our community.
Yep.
And it's up to me, Black Man Unfiltered, Sway, CBN, Mel, and other men, Sir Hill, and other men. It is not up to women. It is appalling. It is appalling when I'm on a panel and a woman is telling me about my manhood. That is absurd. It makes no sense in our time period, in our grandparents' time period, whether it's in Africa, the Caribbean or not. It makes no sense. Men create society. Men manage society. Women don't do that. And there's nothing wrong with that. They just don't. The most beautiful thing that the universe or God or whatever you want to believe gave the woman is to give birth and to take care of the family and the home. Let the man get on the 47th floor of a skyscraper and build it. Now, I know women are going to say, have you ever built a skyscraper? No.
No, but you won't. You will not hear that. I don't care about you building.
I know, but I was asked these questions yesterday. Do you hunt? Do you hunt for your food? No, I just go to Walmart and get some food. But if I had to, I would go out there and strangle a deer to death. I don't know if I can strangle a deer to death, but you get my point. To feed my family. Women aren't physically strong enough to do that. But me, Black Man Unfiltered, Sway, CBN, and Mill, if society were to collapse, the five of us could hunt a deer and kill it with our bare hands.
So let me say this, Chaotic. As long as you are sincere with your message, then you do whatever you have to do. But listen to this. I think that Sir Hale said it, and everybody in the chat has said it also.
Yes.
The truth will offend. It will. But I'm just saying, what are you trying to do? Now, you said that, and I didn't hear the words I needed to hear, but I'm going to say them for you.
Okay.
That word that you left out was obviously you feel that there is some urgency.
Yes. Listen, my time on this planet is finite. I'm 37. One day I'm going to look up and I'm going to be 80. Okay. We have to fix this problem before it's too late. For God's sakes, the white man is going into outer space every damn day. These people are beating us at every aspect of life. And then we say, well, white man people kill, white people do this. But the white man has the International Space Station in orbit. The white man has robots on Mars. The white man has a robot. I mean, not a robot. The white man sent the Soyuz out of our solar system.
They got robots too.
Nevertheless.
just to lighten
cameras in your phone recording you.
Listen, nevertheless.
Lighten it up a little bit.
All I'm saying is that women should not, if they're easily offended, whether they're black, white, whatever, maybe they shouldn't be in male spaces. there was something that was beautiful about men of yesteryear, when men used to sit around with a cigar, drinking with their buddies, and the wives wouldn't be around. Maybe they figured something out 100 years ago, 500 years ago. Maybe they knew that women were sensitive, and maybe women shouldn't be a part of locker room conversations. Yes, when I'm around men, we say some of the most vulgar things. But here comes a woman. Oh, I'm offended by that. Then maybe you shouldn't be around just because none of us here were offended. When I used to teach, when I used to work at other places, the women would come around and we'd be joking. You know what they'd do? They'd tell on us. You know, he said this type of joke. And I'm like, well, why would you around us in the first place? Why were you around us in the first place? These are locker room conversations. Maybe you shouldn't be here. Yeah. We don't try to be. Listen, one thing I can say about, I'm sorry, Security Boss.
You're speaking of the feminist movement. It did a lot of equality, and like I said, it's not equal. It's not meant to be that. So it's very much a flawed system. But listen, I'm gonna go back and look at this. I'm gonna go back and look at this last half of this Lapeef, and I'm gonna see, because I'm gonna hold you accountable. If you're over there acting out and not doing it, if you're not, you were.
I got off my square. Normally, I'm like a Vulcan, like Spock. I'm logical. But the woman, I don't want to use her name. She got me off my square because of her nagging voice. I mean, for God's sakes, it wasn't what she was saying. It was that constant, that most men know what I'm talking about. This.
Well, you were supposed to fall back. Then you're supposed to fall back and go into dark.
So bad.
Sadly, I do know.
It's that nagging vibration. Yeah, it's like Karen vibration, and it does something to the man's mind where you just go crazy.
So listen, hold on for one moment. I need to speak to Cora Blossom, and I need to speak to Canadian Born before we go. Because listen, guys, we have been here 3 hours. Listen, I appreciate y'all so much, because this is something that I've never done. And I wanted y'all feedback on it. But I think 4:00 in the afternoon on a Friday is good.
It is.
It's been like one of my best shows yet. I get all this feedback. I love it. Mr. Chaotic, listen, if you're speaking the word of, okay, I'm not going to go with that. But listen, I believe in kindness.
Me too.
And I believe in humility.
Me too.
And if you can show that to someone, you'll get very far. But
I have all my life.
Truth is true.
I would like Black women to treat me the same way that they treated the incident with George Floyd. I did more for the Black community than he did. I know it sounds crazy.
I was going to say I'm lost a little bit.
No, hear me out.
Okay.
Black people, especially Black women, fought tooth and nail for George Floyd, a man who was not nice to other Black people, a man who didn't take care of his kids, a man who committed acts of horrific violence against his own people. Now, he wasn't nice, and he had no humility for his people, and everybody loves him that's Black. I would like to challenge Black people to say, you know what? Chaotic has never committed a crime. Chaotic has worked in the Black community. Chaotic has worked for Black organizations. Chaotic has taught Black children. I would like these same Black women to have that same love for me, despite what I say, because I haven't done anything physical.
Okay,
that's all I gotta say. But you know what, guys? Thank you so much, Security Boss, for having me.
Okay, let me tell you this. You're very long-winded, and we gotta figure out a way to shorten you down just a little bit. But listen, we only know what you tell us. We only know what you tell us, and you haven't been. I don't know. I'm going out on a limb saying this. We haven't seen you very long, right? So I don't know this for sure. I'm just telling you, I haven't. So guess what? Once we see how you flow and you get into the habit of being around or what have you, maybe we can accept what you say to be something that we can count on. But give us an opportunity. Be kind and gracious, and have some humility up until that time. But hold on before you go. I'm not trying to hold on. Okay. Innocent, sweet, quiet, and peaceful. $2 super chat. Thank you for that. And let me see what you have to say. You killed the deer. What? I mop up the blood. What?
Oh, see, now she makes sense. Now that makes sense. That makes sense.
You mop up the blood.
Yes.
All right. So listen, Canadian Born. Oh, I'm sorry.
No. I heard what Sir Hale said, that everyone gets offended by the truth. When someone is not ready for the truth, they're always offended, and that is the absolute 100% truth.
It is.
Before I go, I want to thank everybody. Black men, I feel too. Oh, you want to ask me another question, Security Boss?
No. Go ahead and say your goodbyes.
Listen, this has been a great panel. Like a man from Unfiltered, I look forward to seeing you within the next hour and a half, 2 hours. Salute to you, my Nigerian brother, CBN. Mel, salute to you, sir. Sway, I don't know if you were trolling us, but you had some candies that were called trolleys, if I'm not mistaken. And Security Boss, I want to say this to Security Boss. Guys, Security Boss is an excellent YouTube content creator. Obviously, I tell everybody that I think Anton is the greatest the greatest content creator of all time. But Security Boss is definitely in my top 5. And guys, there's 80 people in the chat. Let's buy Security Boss $1,000 gift card. Everybody just donated $10 to her, $20 to her. Guys, thank you so much.
Can I ask you a question, please?
Oh, I was about to leave. What's up, Blossom? Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead if you gotta go.
No. What's the question? Go ahead. What's the question?
So do you think that women and men, Black women and men in the community would rally around you if you were executed in the same way as George Floyd?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
Oh, come on, chaotic.
Absolutely not. No, the Black man's life.
That's not true.
Security Boss. See, this is what I'm saying.
I don't believe that.
I go to white panels. The host. Nobody cuts me off. Nobody says
I'm sorry. It's a little different over here because it says unsolicited up there. You can't follow me all the time. I'm sorry.
Just hear me out.
Yeah, something might just hit me and I just go for it. I'm sorry. They come with being over 50. When you get there, you will see what I'm talking about.
Okay, now hear me out. If I were to be killed, no, because the Black man, there's an agenda, a woke agenda. This agenda is that the society is going through systemic racism and oppression, and who better to be at the forefront than a person like a George Floyd, a person like a Rodney King, people who were in the system. People that society overall can say, look what happened. This man, he was in and out of prison. He was this, that, and the other, etc. A man like myself who has all types of college degrees, a part of all types of organizations, fraternal organizations, they don't look at me as a symbol of their agenda, like the Black Lives Matter. So no, if I were to get killed by the police, it would be a footnote in the local newspaper.
I don't agree with that, but I do understand what you're saying. I'm sorry I had to cut you off. I told you long-winded. But before you go, you owe chaotic. You owe me some because I done gave you about 15 solid minutes of our time. Okay, you ready for this? Okay, so
thank you for the super chat too, Sway. Go ahead.
Yeah, Sway got a $9.99 super chat. So listen, chaotic, you gotta turn it up for us to be like chaotic is it. You know what you gotta do right when the super chat come on, right?
What's that?
You gotta move your shoulders
like this.
No, however you want to do it, but you got to get into it. We got
like a kappa.
There you go. That's how y'all. There you go.
I'm not a kappa though, but it's just a shoulder roll.
Whatever. All right. So guess what? The money line song is coming. Let make it work. Here we go.
Okay. Go ahead.
Give me mine. Going up, need no decline. Money line. I'ma run it every time. Give me mine.
Now, Security Boss, I did say I was gonna leave, but I got something to say too. The Nigerian brother that was executed by that white woman. The other day, I got into a conversation with someone, and I guess my brother wrote that he said something about Black women and twerking, and he said that that's all Black women do. Now, I was talking to my friend and said that is true what he said. Black women have been twerking since ancient times. And my friend got mad at me. She said, that's ignorant. And I showed her a picture of the ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, and it had 3 Black women naked twerking. I just want to point that out.
I would say it does come from an African dance.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dance, twerking, same damn thing. Come on.
If you kind of realize remember back in the 90s, the Jamaican move, the butterfly, or shaking their booty. That's like another booty shaking dance, but they just change it up a little bit and put a new name on it. But it's like the same dance for multiple decades.
Guys,
so listen, guys, if you're coming into the live, make sure you give me a thumbs up. But listen, I'm going to hear what Black David, I can't say it. Nigerian born, Black David, all of them names across the top, and Corey Russell.
Black man unfiltered. I'll see you later, man.
Once again, it's the Canadian-born Nigerian, aka Black David.
Black David.
Bob.
Black David. I don't like calling you Black David, but anyway.
It's Bob, security boss.
It's Bob. What's his stripper name? Tell me
Bob,
the truth.
He has two. He has Bob,
Big Shisha.
Bob for domestic. Bob, it means big all, baby. And then he has.
I'm gonna roast you tonight.
And then the Nigerian sledgehammer is the other one.
I'm gonna roast you tonight.
I'm just gonna call you David. David, go ahead and tell us what you think about this, so we can get out of here.
I'll make it short and simple. I watched the video what Anton had live. I didn't watch last night's broadcast, and I see what they were talking about, and it was like a nuclear bomb drop in that conversation, which I was kind of shocked. Then again, I was also aware that this was something I was trying to explain in past panel. There is a division among the Black people.
Okay.
It has been going on for decades. What Kevin Samuel talked about the brain drain, it's totally true. Those who are highly educated, nerdy, are being separated from the pack. And when they see they're not accepted no more, they create their own community. The reason I say that because I don't want to take too much of your time because there's so much evidence to point that out. The problem is the people who decide not to be highly educated or want to be what they call hood don't care if they put a negative image of themselves. When those who are highly educated want to change that image, but got to deal with those who want to champion what is negative.
I understand.
So when I try to explain to people the division between that, there's another division between African American and the African and Caribbean immigrant, which is another issue on top of that. But I try my best to explain that, but I don't want to take too much of your time. The problem is, as long as people hold on to ignorance, I have to let them be, leave them alone. Give them the doses.
Listen, this tells me we got to do another show, but this is a good time.
Get it.
Listen, make sure when you come into live, you give me a thumbs up. And also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Also, we got Black Man Unfiltered here. We also have Sway. Are you still on Lapeef Network? Well, make sure y'all if y'all not already over there, go over there and subscribe and check out the network.
16 away from 900. I need 16 subscriptions right now to get to 900.
There you go, guys. Listen, subscribe 16. To Black Man Unfiltered. I already said it today. He is my co-host. And if you haven't been to Unsolicited, it's your first time here, I appreciate you being here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I got so much stuff I want to tell everybody. And give me a thumbs up. It's a lot. I love this 4 o'clock Friday show. So guess what? You will be seeing it again next Friday.
Can I say 2 things?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so on the Lapeef thing, I am trying to, but like I said, I just got a new job, so it's a little on and off. On the weekends, I'm at home. And to y'all point about when, the change might happen, sadly enough, I believe, personally, I don't have any data to back this up, that you won't actually see a significant change until at least my kid or my grandkid type of situation. I'm either be old and y'all gonna probably be gone. I don't know what medical science is like, but I think most of the women right now they're not, you can't save them. And then I think maybe girls around my age, maybe about 50% of them, and then that's generous though, 50% though.
I could tell you the ones over 28 can't be, but I think anything under 30 can be.
Yeah.
Anything
we don't know how the next 10 years how media and everything is influenced.
We got to get away from
information.
But remember, we're promoting independent thinking. We got to. We can't. It's a lot of them already saying they've been duped, and it's all women saying that they've been duped. So we got to keep with that program and put something in there that is special and different. And guess what? I'm a Black woman. There are a lot of women like myself who have been married for many, many years, advocating for Black men. We got to continue to talk about it. It's not a perfect situation. My husband's not perfect, and neither am I, but I'm willing and was willing to invest in it. It's better where I'm at than it is being out there alone.
Yeah, you got celebrities like Tashina Arnold now post on Twitter.
Yeah, there you go.
To stop the emasculation of our Black men and stuff.
Yeah. So Cora Blossom, you are a good woman. How are you doing today? You decide.
Good evening.
Times with me.
Yes, I I would get on camera, but I didn't get my students to do. Sometimes they do my edges, so I didn't get them to do my edges today.
Your students do your edges, okay? All right.
Yeah, I'm in the hood. I teach in the hood.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's one way I connect with my students.
Listen, whatever you got to do, but guess what? Set a good example. You got students. That means you're in a position to make a difference. You can influence them. So that's what we're talking about. Good influence. So what do you have to add to this conversation? I know I'm gonna go back and look at LaPeef. I know you were there, but I'm gonna have to go back and take a look. Tamika, I see you up here too. I'm gonna have to go back and take a look.
Yeah, I didn't see all of it.
Okay.
I just think women need to get used to the way some men, a lot of men maybe, deliver their message. Because chaotic truth, I didn't find a lot of fault in what he was saying yesterday as far as what I heard. I think a lot of women just didn't like his delivery. And the same thing with Kevin Samuels.
Yeah.
I don't know if I can say that here, but I think once you get past the delivery, you can really get the message and get to the meat of what he's saying.
Right. I agree with it. And why wouldn't you be able to say KS over here? Is it something going on? Something I should know?
No, I just didn't know. Like some platforms are like, don't say name. I don't know.
Names. Okay. I got
Yeah.
you. Because they're not there. Okay. I see what you're saying.
It's just a played out reference. You know what I mean? So it's like we
you.
don't really want to give more fuel to the fire.
I understand now. Y'all got to help me out. I'm a little slow sometimes. Forgive me. but
you know what? Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
You know what? It brought in a lot of attention. Like people were paying attention to what Chaotic Truth was saying. They had their ears open because the delivery was so sharp.
Right.
And so I think the delivery is fine if it gets the attention that it needs to get because the message is good.
See, I don't mind it because I know that he's not speaking to me directly, but if it just stirs up and it's more chaotic, I don't like to see people just constantly going back and forth. And then now to the point they cursing each other out, using foul words, about to fight. Women are all out of character. It makes us look terrible. And that's what I just want to prevent that. If it's some kind of way that we can prevent that and still hear the message, then I'm okay. I mean, it's not up to me. I'm just telling you what this kind of makes me like, it's not up to me though. It's, it's just this is my point I'm making. I want the message still to be, I'm like JR. I want to have a conversation.
Yeah.
Let's have a conversation. But when it goes so far to the left, you can't even have a conversation. It's almost like these people going to meet out in the street on the corner of the block. And then it's like, what you going to do when you get out there? You can't fight this man. What are you saying? So that's all. That's my only point. That's it. So
I find it also played out to talk about women. Like I know I talked about them today, but that was just kind of the topic of, men and women and fault lines. But even then, I really don't like. We talked about it so fucking much. Like at least the people around this channel is like, how much more are we going to talk about just women? Can we talk about the community as a whole, or men, or whatever the case may be? But just not. I don't want that to be the focus of every conversation because.
And you know what? Where did you grow up, Sway?
Where I grew up a little bit in Virginia, a little bit up in New York, city area, and then I've stayed at a time in North Carolina at the beach area, but typically
cool. Hey,
typically
now
East Coast.
Yeah, now me personally, I grew up in the dirty South, right? And in the dirty South, the reason that I think most of the men, if we did a number right now, if we got together and we put together a number, did a statistic, most of the men that have these concerns are probably from the South. Let me tell you why. When we grew up, what we saw growing up is not what we're seeing now. And so that's the disconnect. When I grew up, I saw my grandmother serve my grandfather. I saw her do it with a smile. I didn't see her complain, roll her eyes, snap her neck, call him out his name, right? I saw my grandfather give into her and pour into her because of what she does. And even if we go biblical, because some people don't go biblical, but the Bible says in Proverbs 31 that a woman will be honored and celebrated by the work she does for her husband. Her children will celebrate her. Her husband will celebrate her because of her good works to her man. And so we saw it in the South. Now we're seeing women say, boy, you better go fix your own damn plate. I'm not doing it. You're like, whoa, what happened to grandmama and them? Because grandmama and them knew how great it was to serve their man, to be there for their man. to be there, and in return, their man will give them anything.
Yeah.
Anything.
I just beat that for a fact. And born raised in New York and everything. We raised in up north in liberal cities like myself. We don't see a lot of that.
Right.
Stuff.
That's what I was
I
saying.
grew up in the project hoods and stuff like that, and we see a lot of dysfunctional, broken families, or even ones that's being raised by other families. I was raised by my uncle and aunt and stuff, and even growing up in that household was a little bit dysfunctional. It may seem still a little percent traditional. My aunt cooked and then everything clean, but she was still like more masculine than my uncle. Like she was the bigger breadwinner than he was. And the only way he flexed his masculinity on me was like abusive way and stuff. And that's why
listen, Mel, I need you to read the private chat. I got a message for you back there. Okay. And I'm going to listen, guys. This is the last one. We unlock. Hello, how are you? This is the last caller that we're going to have today, and I want to go over a couple things with you, and I'm going to let y'all go. But this has been a terrific Friday. I appreciate you all.
This is a good time for you, Security Boss.
It is. So I'm going to go over some things, but I want to talk to We Unlock first. How you doing, sir?
I'm fine. How are you, Security
Doing
Boss?
well.
How are you?
Doing good.
I just wanted to come up and express how dedicated I am to listening to you express your love, your devotion, and your dedication to marriage, and not only important to that, but community as a whole. I heard one person said that Black communities don't exist anymore. That's a total false narrative. Anybody who proclaims that has completely given up in totality.
Yeah.
And I truly understand why they feel the way that they feel because of all this chaos and what's going on. It's gonna be that way.
Yep.
It's gonna be that way. But what I want to focus on is the positivity of marriage, the sanctity of marriage, and how we can improve down the line, because true form, we're not going to get those families or I said marriages that end up with people with the man and the woman dying together over 40 and 50 years. That's not gonna. It'd be lucky if it happens in my lifetime. If I'm still married to my wife another 30, 40 years, then I'm blessed. But we got to work at it.
Exactly.
We got to constantly work together and stop all this bickering, stop all this fussing and fighting. Listen, you're gonna have fuss. You're gonna have a couple of fights here and there. I wouldn't mind a couple of scraps. Me and my brother, we used to scrap all the time. All right, and then after that, we share a beer with one another, and that's it. All right, we ain't scrapping no more. It's back to being family once again. But stop listening to all this internet stuff. As I keep saying this before, stop listening to all this internet talk, because there's only one. I don't want to say entity, but there's one particular group of individuals who are actually clapping and saying, now we can move on to the next phase and continue and have more power and have more wealth and have more influence. And that's your oppressor, in my opinion.
Thank you.
Now, we on lock. I'm going to say this to you, brother. I love you. All right?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully you come.
I know there's a butt coming.
A barbershop tonight, but I'm not going to say but, because I think however is more appropriate. Community. I just wanted, in my mind, I know the definition of community, and I repeat it over and over again in my head every day. And community is a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. Does that sound like the Black community right now? I mean, our black people right now.
Repeat that one more time so I can get a clear vision.
No, yeah, absolutely 100%. Security Boss, I'll be 15 seconds. A group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. That's the definition of community.
It all depends on how you look at things. Not everybody has works the same in the totality. Like, I can say for my parents, I can say for my group of people that I was with until I moved to Las Vegas, Nevada. I was born and raised in Lansing, Michigan. And in where I was raised, we had a community, family alike. And of course, I had white folks who were family. Okay. But I see what you're saying, and I would say, yes, that is community. However, when are we going to start the focusing on the positivities of Black communities, of families, is what I'm asking.
When we see the result of, when we understand, because you can't move anything without understanding how it's going to move. When GM builds the Escalade or the Cadillac, or they build any type of car, they have a blueprint of what they're going to build. And then that blueprint goes through a committee, and the committee agrees to the design of the car. Then they agree to the 3.5 liter V8 engines they're going to put in the car, V6 engine they're going to put in the car, the tires. So everything has to go to do it through a process. In our community or in our group of people, we have to know how to move. And then we have to design how we're going to move. Then we have to go get together as a unit and say, this is how we're going to move. And we're not going to have any kickback from nobody. We're going to collectively agree on one thing. We're not going to have Baptists over here, Pentecostal over here, the Presbyterian over here. We're going to all move in the same way, because that's the definition of community. And then once we move in the same direction, everybody can hold each other accountable. If we see a young lady out of line, we see a young lady going out her window at night, get your butt back in that window. We see a young man trying to sneak in the house, and we know he's too young to be making kids, get your butt back in that house. We need people watching people's houses. When women out here trying to work and they're single moms, we need the men in the neighborhood to stop by and check on the kids. We need active people moving in one direction. That's the goal. That's the solution.
Yes, it is, but we've already identified the problem. We have. So now we need to do what you just said, be active in it, but we got to have some accountability for it too. But listen, guys, that's a whole nother show. But I want to say one thing before we go. I got to say a lot of things, but I want to address one thing. And I just want this young lady, I think her name was Quincy. Quincy says sisters were not taught to serve men other than their sons. Now, I want you to think about that for just a little bit, Quincy, because if you're taught to serve your son, you're setting the expectation for the woman that he should marry to serve him also. So just think about it, and then we could talk about it another time. But first thing, I want to say, AL, thank you so much for your $2 super chat. By definition, no community exists in America. Okay, that was another turn. But listen, let me say this to y'all. I'm going to say goodbye, but I want to give y'all some announcements. This is the church announcements. We're ending with them also. But I need y'all to come to my channel, hit the little globe in the top right-hand corner, and check out SB Nation's new merchandise, right? It's not time to order yet, but I just want y'all to take a look at it. Just tell me what you think. Hit the globe, SB Nation, check out the merchandise. I want to hear about it. On Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, the 20th, daily I just lost my thought. Daily Wrap-Up Crew will be with me at 8 o'clock. And if y'all don't know about them, go check out their channel, Daily Wrap-Up Crew, right? Also, on April 29th, it's here, y'all. It's finally here. April 29th, 9:15. I Choose You first show. So I need all of you back there again. I Choose You, the first show, April 29th. So I've spoken really quick, and we've had a very long, I have never been on live 3 hours and 27 minutes.
We on lock. Check your email. We on lock.
I got some things I need to
got you.
But listen.
Oh, you got my email?
Y'all, whatever y'all need to do, tune in, and I will talk to you all soon. Chat, y'all have been phenomenal. Y'all know it.
Boss, what's the name of this song?
Huh?
What's the name of this song?
Hold on. Stay
by.
Oh, I'm gonna have to give you something in the back. I can't even tell you that quick. But he's guess what? He's a Hispanic. Oh, you just wouldn't believe. I'll tell you. I'll let you know.
Thank you.
All right, so listen, guys, I am getting ready to go. It's been a pleasure. Those of you that I just asked to come up, I need y'all to stay in the background for just a minute. I want to say something to you all, but the others of you all, have a terrific Good Friday. I will see you soon, maybe on Monday. I don't know yet, but thank y'all for being here. Have a good night.
Always gotta go.
Playing house, this ain't a home with your soul. I've been lost in my thoughts, and my thoughts they too scared to usher off. Sorry, Mom, I just thought you were my world. Now you're not. And I'm just sitting, smoking, sloping in the days, cause my days ain't been the same since I drove your I remember the way you wrote letters in blue ink. You and me was in love. Think about what your crew think. I know your moms probably think I'm a bastard. Your pops probably want to beat my death and take a in my casket. But I got sick of fighting, bickering, fussing over nothing, cussing. Instead of watching the death of discussions that we once had, days that we once spent in the backseat of our cars, reading poets at sunset. It's funny how love can fall out the foreground, get pushed into the back of your mind. We used to twist a spliff and laugh and relax. Are you crying? And I'm trying to find the reasons, so I ask, does forever ever happen, or is it always fade to black? I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road, I can't stay. No, I always gotta go. Playing house, this ain't a home with my soul. On the road.